testing. Testing. Guess I'm just checking if I'm live. Pretty sure it says I am. Oh, I should tweet this out first. Shit. Um, so I'm gonna say now that this is not gonna be a good stream. I'm not great at this game. I don't have my levels properly set up. I'll probably have to talk to my brother about setting up helping set up my levels. But you know, okay, it does say I'm live. Gonna send this link to people and I guess tweet it out. I haven't streamed in a long time, mainly because my internet and computer stuff got messed up. Still don't have a capture card, so that kind of dulls things out. But okay, tweet has been made. So yeah, I just haven't been able to stream for a while. Alright, got the thingy set up. I guess I'll post this in somewhere around here too. Just okay. Okay, now that that's all handled, Hollow Knight. And the controller's working. Sick. I was kind of worried about that. So yeah. Hollow Knight, it's one of my favorite games. I helped, Renosuke through it. As you can see, there's some save files. I'm gonna be real. Never actually beat this game. I'm just gonna clear this one. The bottom save file is my younger brother's. He's currently going through it. He's almost at the true ending. Oh boy. Time for me not to be able to catch up. In Wilds Beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret. For none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. I can't read today. Under palest watch you taught, we changed, base instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast, as they had never dreamed. From Elegy of Hollow Nest. I completely forgot that there was a little section like that in the beginning. That's... huh. And you see the chained up thing, which I don't know why anybody would be watching me as their first time through. But there's a chained up thing, and something is happening. But 3 seals are keeping it in place from the looks of it. Or something. The intro is kind of vague. But that's fine. And here we have the knight. Or, I guess... You know, I don't know if they ever actually give him a name. I think everybody calls him something different. He's just a little guy. And he's just wandering in, which actually raises a lot of questions for later stuff. He looks how I feel when I wake up. If anybody's here, if you guys can hear the audio levels, I don't know if it's good, if I have to turn up myself or turn up the video game. But I'm in. So, yeah, you have the attack. You can attack in any of the cardinal directions. You can look up and down, and you can jump. That's all you really get at the beginning. first enemy, just little bug. If you down attack and don't mess up, you can bounce off of them, which is very useful and needed for some later sections. And if you hold down B, to heal using that little thingy in the top corner, your soul gauge. And enemies and these little rocks there, dropping Geo, which is the currency of the game. Can't hurt the little floaty bugs, but they're just there for aesthetic. Also, these is it stalagmites or stalactites? I don't remember. These little thingies fall. They fall. They hit your head. Higher beings. These words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul and you shall achieve feats of which others can only dream. And that's just telling you can heal by holding down B with soul. Or circle. I'm using PlayStation controller. I'm actually using a PS5 controller for this, which I gotta say, these PS5 controllers are really something else. They have a nice feel, the analog sticks are nice. I wish it had a little bit more color, though. Oh, I see Amira's here. Hey. Hopefully my levels are good so that you can actually hear me saying hey. I'm not really too sure. But yeah. Those little, I'll call them lore tablets. Hey. I mean, things are slightly delayed for me, so that's probably why I didn't notice you right away. But I am trying to focus on the game, and I have the, what would you call this thing? I have Streamlabs OBS in another tab. Oh, right, the stalactites? I think the stalactites are the ones, can also kill the, enemies. This, with all the butterflies around it, is a lifeblood cocoon, which drops these little blue guys that you can, kill and get blue masks out of, which are, I guess, soul hearts from Binding of Isaac, for anybody who's played that, but they're temporary HP. They're very good. Oh, see? First little thing to show you, oh, you have to go back somehow. So, this is supposed to be like, oh, platform over it. But, dang it. I try to show off the cool thing and I mess up. Story of my life. Yeah, down here's this little secret. And you think that you need to come back here later with like a power-up or something, but you can just bounce off the spikes with a down slash at the right time. Okay, yeah, stalactites are the ones that fall from above. I always forget that, because I think it's like stalagmites are the ones you might trip over, but then stalactites might fall on your head. I don't know. Hey! Higher beings. These words are for you alone. Within our lands, do not hide your true form. Let all bask in your majesty. For only this kingdom could produce one such as you. And there's a really cool little seal thing behind it. No idea what that's supposed to be. Well, I mean, I do, but a new player wouldn't. And there's this weird symbol behind this chest, which gives you your first charm. Fury of the Fallen. So, I can't actually equip a charm yet. But that charm, I can at least look at what it does. Fury of the Fallen embodies the fury and heroism that comes upon those who are about to die. When close to death, the bearer's strength will increase. I don't have the specific numbers, but I think it's like a 75% increase when you're at 1 heart, but at the same time, it's... if you're playing good, you should never be at 1 heart. Oh, hey, Renosuke. telling you about... Oh, yeah, I did forget to tell you. I tweeted it out, if that counts. Yeah, Glass Cannon players who are like, oh, I'll... Dang it. I forgot. Who will never get hit will use that charm, but at the same time, like... I am definitely not good at doing the Glass Cannon builds. The only thing I would ever do for that would be if I was fighting something tough. Yeah, sorry. I would have told you, but... I mean, you found out that I was streaming. I told you. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Beyond this point, you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws. Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the Eternal Kingdom, Hollownest. People of Hollownest really think a lot about themselves. So if you aim up, you actually can slash without getting knocked back as much, which is very good. Yeah, Glass Cannon's pretty much instant death. Oh, the charm. Yeah, I mean, you have to explore a lot, and you'll find stuff hidden everywhere. Just wait until later. There's some stuff that most people just never find. How do I? Yeah, there we go. Oh there, traveler. I'm afraid there's only me left to offer welcome. Our town's fallen quiet, you see. The other residents, they've all disappeared, headed down that well one by one into the caverns below. Used to be there was a great kingdom beneath our town. It's long fell to ruin, yet it still draws folks into its depths. Wealth, glory, enlightenment, that darkness seems to promise all things. I'm sure you too seek the dreams down there. Alright. Later, Amira. Well, watch out. It's a sickly air that fills that place. Creatures turn mad and travelers are robbed of their memories. I don't remember that line. That's actually kind of significant. Perhaps dreams aren't such a great thing after all. Many used to come, hoping the kingdom would fulfill their dreams. Hollownest, it was once called. Supposedly the greatest kingdom there ever was, full of treasures and secrets. Now it's nothing more than a poisonous tomb full of monsters and madness. Everything fades eventually, I suppose. Feeling tired? The bench might be iron, but I assure you it's quite comfortable. There's no better place to collect your thoughts before heading down. Plus, I enjoy the company. Not that you seem the talkative sort. Yeah, the main character never talks. Okay, just the same dialogue. The Elder Bug's not that bad. He's pretty nice. He is pretty stinky rude, though. Okay, first charm. And none of the buildings can be entered. But there is a sign. For all your mapping supplies, we'll be opening soon. It's Zelda and Cornifer. And before I jump down the well, go over to the graveyard. And, there's a stone door with a simple lock. This is the most pointless door in the game. Oh yeah, I'm going to be making sure he can't sleep later, trust me. I'm going to be trying to do all the DLC, though I might not end up beating it all, as I am not very good at video games. So this is the first real zone, the Forgotten Crossroads. It's a very good starting zone. Pretty easy, very simple. Nothing really tough that would kill you. And it's just cool room right away. Cornifer is a Chad. He got the best girl. And here's a bug. Listen. Hello there. How delightful to see another traveler of these forgotten roads. You're a short one, but you have a strong look about you. I'm Quirrell. Quirrell? Quirrell? I'm gonna go with Quirrell. I have something of an obsession with uncharted lands. This ancient kingdom holds many fascinating mysteries, and most intriguing of them is standing right before us. A great stone egg lying in the corpse of an ancient kingdom. And this egg, is it warm? It certainly gives off a unique air. Which it does. This is the thing that we saw in the beginning with the 3 seals. Can it be opened? There's strange marks all over it. I do so love a mystery, and who knows what other marvels lie even deeper below us. Yeah, it does look pretty freaky. It looks like it's got 3 masks just like we have. And it does have little lines all over it. And there's nothing else over here. But this area we'll obviously be going back to at some point. It seems too plot important not to. But yeah, since it said the mapping thing, we don't even have a map yet. And the enemies here are still pretty basic. They just run at you. Pretty sure this guy just runs farther and has a longer hitbox. I like when you can hit the stalagmite down and then they shoot at an angle. I think that actually can damage enemies. Could be wrong. Let's just keep going straight up for now, just to see if there's anything that I forgot. Oh right, there's this guy. Pretty sure this guy does 2 damage, but he's not too hard. If you just like pay attention, you'll never get hit by him. And he has this little caterpillar feller back here. This is one of the collectibles of the game. You gotta save, I think it's 51 of these guys from their little glass jars, and you'll eventually see them again. Man, I don't think my brother ever beat that guy, because it was annoying to him, but I feel like a lot of enemies in this game can be handled easily if you just stay calm and take things slow. So right below that area is this weird different color palette because it leads to a different area. And there's somebody down there, but I'm going to go up here first just to take a look. And there's a little statue. So I can't really show you too well, I guess I could. Hitting these will give you soul, which soul is just used for healing. Eventually it can be used for other stuff, but for now it's literally just your I got hit, time to heal button. Little rattle of the ground here, but not really anything else. I really do like the color palette of this place, though. It has a nice, creepy pink. It's like a violet, I guess. Yeah, this little miner is singing. Oh, bury my mother, pale and slight. Bury my father with his eyes shut tight. Bury my sisters 2 by 2, and then when you're done, let's bury me too. Ha ha ha. Do you know that one? It's one of my favorites. We sing something else if you... We can sing something else if you like. You start singing and I'll join in. I bet you have a beautiful singing voice. Ha ha ha. So, what are you down here for? If you came to get wealthy, just look around you. These mines are still bursting with riches. There's plenty for everyone. Just grab a pick and join in. Haha. I'm good at this voice because I can't talk either. I'm constantly stuttering. Oh, bury the knight with her broken nail. Bury the priest. Something about a crown. I can't remember the rest of that one. Ha ha ha. Maybe I'll just hum it. Same line, but I wanted to hear that little tune that she actually says. She's a fun NPC. I like her singing and stuff. There's a lot of fun NPCs in this game. It has a very Dark Souls feel to it. Was there a secret here? I just realized that I didn't hit some of the walls. Which is a good way to find secrets, is just to start hitting random walls for no reason. I don't think there is. But it's always good to check. Always good to be paranoid and make sure of everything. I have played this game... I've attempted this game like 4 times. Maybe 5. But I've never actually managed to beat it because something in life always came up. Like, I think last time it was during the hurricane. Hey, I finally got hit. It was during a hurricane a couple years back, and I ended up not being able to play it because I had to flee my house. Now, you say Souls-like, but that's much more into the Metroidvania feel than anything. Oop. Like... Yeah, I've attempted. I've never beaten this game. Also, enemies can die from spikes just like you. But if you actually get hit by spikes, you'll reset to the last checkpoint. Now, I did watch a full playthrough of this game from one of my favorite streamers, which is the streamer Pat Stares At, which is basically how I got a lot of the information that got me really into this game. But also, you can totally cheese enemies by hitting them through the floor, which I like. But I've watched like tons of playthroughs. I watch speedrunners and stuff play the game, especially the ones where they play with the mods that let you play against other people. Okay, this caterpillar, this little grub right here, is a bit of a pain to get early, but I know how to. There we go. I managed it. But yeah, I don't know why. So something always comes up that stops me. Which really sucks because I love this game. I'm a big fan of like most Metroidvanias. Which I'll probably play a few more on this channel occasionally. And don't expect me to stream a lot. I'm very bad at having a good schedule with stuff, especially with all the headaches and stuff that I'm kind of known for at this point. And while I do like speedruns, this is definitely not going to be one. I've never actually been good at doing speedruns. Yeah, it's a little micro sequence break, but nothing actually good really comes out of it. And here's where the grubs go. To the Grub Father. And he'll give you little rewards for it. And you get a reward for every grub, but certain thresholds give you better rewards. Oh yeah, having schedules must be a joy, but considering I can't even guarantee I'll be awake most days because of the whole headache thing. Which, for anybody who doesn't know, I get very bad chronic headaches that can knock me out for a whole day. It sucks, but at least I'm not in school or doing anything that would make that important. But who knows? Originally, I was just gonna be streaming, I think one of my big plans was just to stream, a bunch of roguelikes, which, who knows, I might stream more roguelikes, than Metroidvanias. Ooh, there's a little piece of paper. This guy. Hello. Hello. Or, words. Ah, hello there. Come down to explore these beautiful old ruins. Don't mind me. I have a fondness for exploring myself. Getting lost and finding your way again is a pleasure like no other. We're exquisitely lucky, you and I. This guy knows what's up. I am a cartographer by trade. Oh, I might play Isaac when the new DLC comes out. Trust me. I am a big Isaac nerd, though my brothers got a lot more unlocked than I did. I kind of suck at Isaac. I'm a cartographer by trade, and I'm working on mapping this area right now. Would you like to buy a copy of my work so far? Well, of course I would. This is Cornifer. He gives you maps. Okay, that prompt for the map brings up my other issue, which I'll talk about after his dialogue. A map can be a useful thing, but it alone won't show you where you are. If you've not the head for directions, I suggest purchasing a compass from my wife, Iselda. She's just now opening her new map shop in Dirtmouth, selling all sorts of useful things to wanderers like yourself. She'll even sell some of my old maps from time to time. I pop back to see her whenever I finish mapping an area. She's always so excited to see me. Oh, by the way, I haven't introduced myself, have I? Yes, I should apologize for that. When you spend a lot of time by yourself, with just your own thoughts, you forget the niceties of conversation. My name is Cornifer, and I've always loved exploring the world. Why, when I was first hatched, I wandered off immediately, leaving my brothers and sisters and poor mother behind. That's why, as soon as I moved to Dirtmouth with my wife, a huge, unending kingdom to explore right up our doorstep, who could resist? Anyway, I'll let you return to your travels. With a little luck, we'll meet again. Be safe and farewell. Which, I think that's the last of his dialogue. How are you finding my map? I tried to fill out as much as I can, but every map is a work in progress. If you'd like to fill out more of the map yourself, you can purchase some mapping supplies from my wife in Dirtmouth. We've set up a little store to help make ends meet. That's the end of his dialogue, I believe. Which, he has a very solid point. I remember with Isaac I used to play a lot on the PlayStation. I don't even remember how much I have on the PC now. I remember it was my go-to Vita game for a while, but I don't know. I don't remember just how far I got. But with games like Isaac, they really are forever games. Though I know some people have problems with it because it doesn't actually tell you, what the items do most of the time, or like it doesn't give you any hints as to what will make a synergy. But once you've like got the game plugged into your brain, then you're pretty good. I remember watching so much of Northern Lion playing that game back when I could watch Northern Lion. Ever since I stopped watching him for a while, and then when I went back, he suddenly had a different accent, and that kind of made it weird to watch him. It was like watching a whole new guy. But I'm going back up just to get the map stuff, because the map stuff is so important to this game. And I'm pretty sure I can buy all the map stuff, though some of it I'm not going to be using. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, it's kind of hard to go back to Isaac without the mods that they added in for that. I'm excited for the new DLC because it adds, what is it? I forget the name of it. Is it Anti-Birth? It adds, a fan-made expansion pack into the game officially, which I always like seeing stuff like that. And here is Iselda.
Bafanada.
Bafanada. Come to buy a map, have you? It's really my husband that you should be dealing with, but what a surprise. He's headed down below. He'll pop back up occasionally to deliver new maps to the store, but I do wish he'd spend a little bit more time up here. I'm not much of an interest in retail myself. Now, let's see what's here for me to sell. So, the compass is the most important item in the game, because it's a charm that lets you see where you are. The quill is also pretty important. So I'm gonna equip that compass right now, because now I can see where I am on the map. And you only get like some stuff, and you can see like, oh, there's where there's where Kernfer was, and there's something. I wonder what it could be. Could it be a boss? Only one way to find out is to go there. Yeah. I kind of lucked out with getting this, gaming PC when I did. That way I can play pretty much anything I want. Which, for anybody who doesn't know, and anybody who cares, I guess, because it's not that cool of a story, I got my gaming PC for a very good and cheaper price than normal. And actually, I just recently upgraded it too. Because one of my mom's friends was selling it on Facebook, and I ended up having enough money to buy it. She was selling it because her kid was being a piece of shit, yeah. And the mom was like, "Hey, I want to punish my kid who wants to buy a gaming computer so that he can't use it anymore." So I got it. I like getting things out of other people's suffering. It's kind of fun. Okay, let's see. So there is, according to the map, still this way, which I think is where... Yeah, this is where I went. It's just that he didn't have it mapped out. Smack, smack, smack. Oh, right. The thing I was going to bring up earlier is I am notoriously bad with my lefts and rights. So, if I ever say I'm going to open up the map and it doesn't open up, or I click the wrong button and end up using some other ability, that's because I tried to click the right button, but my brain said, L1 is on your right. I'm very bad with my lefts and rights. It's kind of like to the point where I am actively mocked for it. And it has messed me up in games like Among Us, where I try to play the game and I say I went to the left and somebody said, no, he was to the right, he's lying. Because how are you going to explain that to people? Oh, I got a notification. Oh, can't check it just yet. I'll open it up on my phone and try not to die while I do so. Probably a good idea just to have my phone ready anyway. Now, what was that notification? I doubt it was anything important. My phone's being dumb. Not a fake call. Oh, it was Renosuke. Okay. Is there anything in this wall? No. You can tell when a wall is breakable when it makes a weird little noise. As you can see, there were spikes down there that looked pretty spooky. And there's something... Oh, right! This boss! My brother actually found this at the very end of the game. It's not really a boss, it's just a little tougher encounter. Which, by the time my brother found this on his playthrough, he had the harder version unlocked, and he could automatically, or maybe it was in a different area. It was at least a similar counter. And here's a hot spring. And another bench. So hot springs in the game will refill all of your hearts. You can splash in it. They'll also refill your soul all the which is very, very useful. I'm gonna go this way just to check what was on this side. Don't think it was anything too important. There's a jump that I can't even do. I wonder if I'll ever get special abilities. A bunch of Geo! That's always useful. I'll never lose any of my Geo. Never ever. There's no reason that you'll ever lose Geo, guys. Trust me. What's that noise? Fancy glowy noise. Don't actually know what that is. You can see there's some freaky worms over there. Oh, there's something up there. That noise looks like that weird little crystal thingy. But how will I ever get to it? I can't get up there. So you can't hurt the worm. But you can actually hit them, so if you have to, you can bounce off of them. Like that. But that won't be needed for a while. And more Geo. And I think if you hit them, it acts like spikes where it'll reset you to a checkpoint. If you're good, you'll never lose Geo in this game, but you actually will lose it if you die. But I'm good at the game, so I'm sure I'll never show that mechanic off. I say as I get hit twice by basic enemies. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not good at this game. Dang, I can't even get up there. Unless I go around, I guess. Nah, I don't think I can do that. Ooh, there's something up this way. So a lot of the game will be, like, just you exploring, which I think is one of my favorite parts about this game. I like exploring the world, seeing what's going on, and seeing, like, a signpost, and then running over to see what's it here. A weird symbol that requires 50 Geo. I'll do it. A bell. Smack, 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 smack. Ooh, big boy. It's the last stag. Greetings, little one. It's been an age since I last heard the ringing of a station bell. It echoed down the stagways and came and called me to you. I've grown stiff and tired over these many years, and I've forgotten much, but the sound of the bell will always call me back. These stagways stretch the depths of Hollow Nest. If you want to travel them, hail me from the platform. I will take you where you need to go. So this is the fast travel system. Go from any of the stag stations to the others. So I can just go back to Dirtmouth. And how much was the price of that quill? Because that quill is super important. Yeah, as you can see, another area in Dirtmouth, but where was this? Look, a switch to open a door. And it's this door. So this is just your, like, anytime you find a stag station, you just get to go back and upgrade. Damn it, it was 120. But I can grab one of these. These are also important. So, basically, the quill lets you add more to your map just by walking around. The bench, these pins will tell you where things are. So, like, the bench pin tells you where benches are. This is where lifeblood cocoons are. Here's where vendors are. So you're going to want to get all of these. And then there's these markers that got added, I think it was in the Lifeblood DLC? Which this game has had 4 DLCs, and they all added some very important and fun stuff. But these markers, you can just put them down anywhere on the map. which is kind of useful. Not the most useful. You don't really need them, but it is a good way to show, like, oops. Show, like, what's there. Yeah. Yeah, Godmaster was the last DLC added. And then there was, I think the order was, the first one was the Hidden Dreams that added a bunch of new dream stuff. And it added new stuff to the Hive. Like, it added the Hive Knight. I think the second DLC was the Grim Troop. Then there was Lifeblood, which was a... No, wait, Lifeblood added the Hive Knight. Hidden Dreams added Dream Zote and White Defender. Then Lifeblood added Hive Knight and a bunch of quality of life stuff, like the markers. I think it added a new fast travel system. It added a bunch of important stuff. And then the last one added Godhome, which Godhome it's another area added to the game that has every single boss in it with new variants that are more difficult. And a bit bullshit. And added boss rush mode. Yeah, I missed a grub. I wanted to go this way first to make sure that I killed that guy without while I had HP, just in case I got hurt. So this is a fake wall. But there's two of these guys here. And again, this isn't going to be like a 100% thing. I'm gonna suck. I am very bad at this game. But with the grubs, at least, there's a thing later on that will at least tell you where they are. Not how to get to them, but at least where they are. Which, knowing where they are helps out a lot. I'm probably gonna get all the grubs just because I love the payout at the end. Ooh, this looks like a big room. I hope that nothing bad happens in it. Nothing bad happens in it. Because there's nothing in it. I wonder what's up, though. It's another big room with some weak enemies. Which, yeah, they just die pretty easily. Oh, you have Hollow Guy? It's the first boss. Which, first boss, very easy. It's just, don't get hit, be calm. Don't get cornered like that. But it's a big nut guy. But inside, there's a weird little grub man. Beat him. Beat him up. He falls down those rocks, but you can just hit him right back up. I'm not sure if you can hit them back into him, but I know you can hit them in any direction. Oops. Okay, yeah, you can hit them back into him. Like, even just jumping under him is a completely viable strategy. Oh yeah, there's a skip for speed runs, but I'm not a very good speed run person. There's like a skip to just skip the Mantis Claw in speed runs. Oop, got hit. But every time he hits the ground, he starts falling down rocks, which is a bit annoying. Oh, he fell. Beat on him, beat on him, beat on him. Right, Mantis Claw is mandatory, but you can skip like a good chunk of the game without getting it. Like I think I saw a thing where somebody went all the way and got the double jump. I think before getting it. I'm not completely remember. So yeah, it was just a little guy with a thing. And he's got a cool big club as a weapon. Oh god! Oh god, it's alive! Beat it! Beat on it! Beat on it! Ugh. It looks like a weird ladybug thing. But, beating him, bunch of Geo in here. I'm definitely getting the quill and some pins after this. And there's another way up, but as far as I have, no real way to get to it. I wonder if the door opened at the end of the thing. I don't remember. I wonder what that weird little mace thing is. Oh wait, right, he broke the floor. Oh well. I forget what the actual point of fighting him is. Oh yeah, False Knight just stabbed a little caterpillar, or stabbed a little ladybug looking thing with a pole, and became that. Ooh, creepy, it looks like a bunch of heads. In fact, that looks like a bunch of little faces on the side and on the ground here. This place is weird. What could be in here? It's a bench, which is always important. And the snail shaman. Oh ho, who is creeping out of the darkness? My, you're looking grim. Empty face and wicked looking weapon. Something important has drawn you down to Hollow Nest's corpse, but I won't ask what. Perhaps the reason you've found me is because you need my help. Say no more, friend. I'm going to give you a gift. A nasty little spell of my own creation. It's just perfect for someone like you. Grab it. Yeah. Oh god. It's assaulting me with magic. And I'm unconscious. I got the Vengeful Spirit. Or actually, I never noticed. It says consume the Vengeful Spirit. Tap circle to unleash the spirit. Spells will deplete soul. Replenish soul by striking enemies. So yeah, this is the other use for soul. The one more used by speedrunners because they barely ever get hit. Oh, you've woken at last. I apologize. Perhaps I should have warned you about the power of that spell. I was watching over you as you slept, but you seem to have slipped away from me. Oh ho ho. Now you're awake. I was wondering whether you would do me a small favor, not as repayment for the gift, of course, simply because we're now friends. I saw some skips with the Vengeful Spirit where you're just jumping and shooting backwards in order to bypass things for platforms. It's nuts. You see, a horrid great beast has made its home in the heart of this temple. Such disrespect. I would be quite grateful if you were to venture deeper in and slay it for me. It's a hardy creature, but with your new power, you're more than a match for it. Good luck with a small favor, my friend. Oh ho ho. Yeah, this place is like made out of faces. Freaky. And that's Vengeful Spirit. I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it does a lot more damage than the nail. But since it consumes soul, you don't want to use it all too often. And I know a few speedrunning tricks with it. Like attack and then shoot to cancel your own knockback animation and stuff. But it is a very good spell. And there's these rolly enemies here, which I remember gave me a lot of trouble when I started the game. To the point where I remember just shooting most of them. I actually remember having a lot of trouble when I got here the first time with the, for this weird snail area, because it feels like a little bit of a steep difficulty jump, though most people can handle it pretty well. But it is kind of creepy how there's a bunch of, like, masks and faces all over the place. And there's a little soul thing here, though I don't really need it. So, not sure how long I'm going to be going. Oh, right, this little secret area just gives some Geo and a lifeblood cocoon, which is... Lifeblood is always useful. Let's see. Right, so I think this is the Great Beast. If you get close, you can't hurt it. So you had to stay back and feed on the things that it summons out. It only takes like 4 spells to beat. Not too hard. Pretty easy. And you get the Soul Catcher Charm, which, let's see. Used by shamans to draw more soul from the world around them. Increases the amount of soul gained for striking an enemy with the nail. Which... always useful, but it depends on what you want. Oh, so it's done then. You've slain the beast. Poor thing. Must have been terrified of you. It used to be quite docile, but the rancid air in the caverns filled it with some ancient rage. Still, you did what had to be done. You have my gratitude, of course. We both know you wouldn't have made it through without that spell of mine. Oh ho ho. He opens the door. And look, the gate between us has opened. Oh ho ho. I'm sure you're eager to move on. Farewell, and have faith. Whatever you are seeking, you will find it. I like that it shows you the weird little orange glow. Why do you hesitate? You'll get nothing more from me, I'm afraid. Though I do admire your persistence. Oh ho ho. So yeah. I don't think he kills people, or kills bugs, I guess. But he does have a bunch of masks, so he might collect them from dead ones. Or he gets them from some other source, like some type of mask maker. Hint, hint. And it brings you back to where Quirrell was. Did I get the... Oh yeah, I guess I did. The city crest, stone slab bearing the crest of Hallownest's capital city, has an insert on the back that would fit into a slot. Oops. I didn't mean to shoot. Let's see. Could just... Well, I can't just go up now because I decided to... Well, no, I can. I could just go up, but I might as well... What was over in this one? Oop, I got a text. Oh, there's still more over here to check out. So I just answer this text real quick. It's just my brother. He's very good. Do Malek. Can you do Malek this early? God, I don't remember. Either way, I probably want to wait to get some upgrades before Malek. Oop, forgot those guys spawn stuff. Okay, there was just a little grub over this way. I would buy a plushie of those grubs. I wonder if they ever made it. I know they made a Shade plushie recently. Oop. Oh right, this little jump. I know they made a Shade plushie recently that's really good and has a little bit of music that plays for the queue. Which, I mean, I haven't even seen the shade this playthrough. Jump, jump. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go upwards to get to green path. And since I know that's progress, but maybe I'll go all the way up to get to Dirt Mouth first. It's not that far. Okay, they did make a grub plushie. That's good to know. Because those grubs are too cute to not capitalize on that adorableness. Dang it. I am bad at controls. Trying to do things cool has always made me waste time. But, yeah. Again, I just decided to do this stream because Renosuke just finished up his playthrough of Hollow Knight, and it made me go like, and seeing my brother play it a bunch just made me go, I want to do some Hollow Knight. I haven't played Hollow Knight in ages. Get the quill. Get the bench pin. I'll just get as many pins as I can. The stag pin's pretty useful. There's not that many hot springs to really warrant this. You would think that there was more. Oh, I didn't even notice the dialogue for this. Have you seen those beautiful blue cocoons? I made these pins so that I could keep track of them. The cocoons are pretty, but very delicate. Please be careful around them. Use these pins to mark shopkeepers or any other interesting bugs you find on your travels. Every so often, you should pass by and see how they're doing. I'm sure they'd like that. I designed these pins to keep track of the kingdom's hot springs. I haven't visited one myself. I wonder if Cornifer might take me some time. I'm sure you'd make better use of these pins till then. Yeah, the hot springs, I don't know why they didn't put that many in the game. They're super useful. I know that like every few battles in inside Godhome, for the Hollow Nest one, I think. Actually, I think before the final boss of the Pantheon boss rushes. Wait, why am I going here? Every few battles for the boss rushes, right before the big bosses, you get to use a hot spring. But besides that, like, there's just not that many. I know that there's one in Deep Nest, and there's the one in here, obviously, but... Oh, also, since I got it now, this is what the actual map looks like. Once you get the quill, it will actually show you, here's where everything is. Which is very useful for the game. And the quill will just be like, yeah, you explored here, you explored here. Whereas the maps that you buy from him don't really update until you get the quill. Which, it's optional, but very useful. The Pilgrim's Way. Travelers of Hollow Nest descend through verdant wilds and fungal groves to the city of this kingdom's heart. There, all wishes shall be granted, all truths revealed. I wonder if that's true. Oh yeah, you need the Vengeful Spirit before doing this. I forgot this guy existed. Shoots goo. And you shoot Bibis. And you killed the Bibis. And you get the soul. So, I didn't explain it earlier when I saw some, but this green stuff is acid. Yes, I did know that there's charm combos. They have hidden synergies, like, I know that if you get the Weaver one... What's that sound? You get the Weaver one and, I think, Dash Master, it makes it so that you can, your Weavers will go faster, and, I don't remember all of them, but I know there's some good ones. Little birds, because we're in Green Path now, which is a much more grassy area with weird little grass bugs. Called the Mosskin, I think. but even they aren't safe from whatever's going on because they're all orangey grapes. Ooh, I like that sizzly sound for when they fall into the acid. But it also means that we're not getting any of their Geo, which kind of sucks. Yeah, if you get one in Boulder's Shell, you get a special effect. Also, these birds can be killed. Because I'm a monster. But there is actually a reason for killing them, but you don't get it for a little bit. I'm getting pretty close to seeing why, but not yet. Hidden. That's a mouth. It's like that. What's that movie? Little Shop of Horrors or something? It's freaky. That's what it is. And it deserves to die with what's the word? Oh yeah, Fluke Marm. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I remember Fluke Marm gave me so much trouble when I first fought it. But pretty sure it's completely optional unless you want to do God Master. It's a little bench. Yeah, a lot of Geo gone. Trust me, a lot of Geo is going to be going away for a long time. I'm going to miss Geo a lot until I get that charm that automatically picks it up. Weird that there's that little lock. Ooh! There's a person with a cool helmet and a cool nail and a cloak. Yeah, but I have to talk to people like, what if they never beat the game? There's totally a way to cheese it to get up there just by shooting backwards, I think. But I'm not going to be good enough to do it. I'm not some speedrunner smart guy. I'm just normal, everyday gamey. Watch the Geo drop into the acid. Oh right, they explode. Give Geo. Give rock. Give coin. Need coin. Is there anything? I don't think there's anything up here that's really necessary. Just a path to get back through. Let's see. Ow. Stupid mosquito looking thing. So yeah, around here, if you see these ones, they kind of bounce when you jump on them. But you can cut that and it will drop. Which is useful for making yourself go back higher. Or you can wait a little bit. I'm pretty sure this is a thing. A little bit more. Just crush them. Don't get any Geo for it, but it makes me feel better. Oh, wait a second. Dang it. Oh! That exploded. Dang it. Would have been cool if I bounced up and hit that. So the developers probably thought about that. It's not like it's actually that big of a gap of stuff. Okay. Yeah, I am a fan of Metroidvanias, but I'm gonna say right now, not the best at them. So, expect me to miss stuff, and I might end up playing other ones. I know my brother always yelled about Rabby Ribby for a while, but I can't guarantee I'm gonna be good like that. I've done my best to chart the area ahead, though I must admit some of the area's inhabitants proved quite a nuisance. Purchase map. Purchase map. I ran into another traveler as I made my way down here. I tried to call out to her, but she dashed past. But she barely even glanced in my direction. Not an appreciator of maps like you and I, obviously. Just say that. I bet that they're talking about that same mysterious person with the cloak, who is not at all the cool Virgil type of this game. You can tell that they're totally the cool Virgil type just because they are wearing red, whereas I wear... I guess it's a gray-blue. It's like a gray, but bluish. Oop. Remember, kill all the inhabitants around here. Spare nobody. I like that this area has weird spiky architecture and it's weird grassy and stuff. It almost looks like a mouth. Oh look, weird cave. Oh no. Yeah, I like it. Tiny squib. You approach fearless. Are you a hunter like me? Because he is the hunter. Do you feel the urge inside to stalk, to kill, to understand? Then take it, my journal. It will aid you. At first the text may seem difficult to discern, but a learned hunter will come to understand its words. Venture the depths of this land and slay its beasts. Prove yourself worthy to bear the mark of the hunter. I got the hunter's journal. Press the little touchpad to open the menu and navigate to the journal pane. Defeat enemies to add new entries to the journal and decipher the hunter's notes. My favorite thing to have in a video game, a bestiary. So the journal will show you all the enemy types in the game, and will tell you little info about them from the hunter's perspective, along with showing, and if you kill enough of them, you'll unlock new dialogue. So the top one is what you get right away. Timid scavenger that crawls through the caverns looking for food. Dull and pathetic. Hardly worth killing. And as you can see, I need to kill 23 more of that enemy to get the hunter's notes. Whereas I just get the basic bestiary entry. And it even has stuff for the bosses you've killed. Like the False Knight. A maggot driven mad by a strange force, inhabits a stolen armored shell. Weak creatures love to steal the strength of others. Their lives are brief and fearful, and they yearn to have the power to dominate those that dominated them. Which is pretty cool. I like this. I like having the journal. I might read up on the bosses occasionally. I'll have times where I just spend all day looking at the wiki. That smells like a secret. It's a grub. I'm just gonna blast that one. Also, as anybody can see, the soul shot does have knockback, which is important to remember. Because you can totally knock yourself off a platform and just end up dying. Oh, there's the person again. Oh, they're so cool. They just zipped away. I hope that maybe at some point in some other game I have that power. Oh, a sign that says a bench. So yeah, obviously, I do know that most people will know that that character does get their own game in the new sequel, Hollow Knight Silksong, which was originally going to be a DLC that was added in, much like the Grim Troop and all that stuff. But progress was being made so much that they decided that they were just going to make it into its own DLC. or its own like game. So the people who pre-ordered it were gonna just get the expansion from paying for the Kickstarter for Hollow Knight still get it for free, which is good for them. They deserve it. They helped fund such a great game that so many people have fun with. And there's plenty of stuff in this game from backers that you can end up finding. I know there's a backer room that has a bunch of characters in it. Oops. So yeah, falling into the acid, it'll just drop you back down. Oh god! A bug. Just smack it and kill it. But it looks super spooky, and it charges you. Kill grass. Huh. Is there something back here? Not really. Yeah. Worth looking. But yeah, just hitting them and then shooting them with the bullet will just... The soul will just one-shot them. But it's only viable if you have soul. There's the person. Come back here. Wait. There's no way I can get that. I want to meet the cool person. They're cool and they're wearing the opposite colors of me. That means that they must be awesome and important. There we go. Up we go. I think it's this side. Wait. Oop. I messed up. Jump. Just wanted... Cut! Suck at this. Basic platforming, my one weakness. I could probably do endgame super tough platforming pretty easily with all the tools, but then basic platforming just proves to be too tough for me. Up we go. Ooh, a little thingy that I can pay for. Go. A little symbol with the symbol for a bench. Pay for it. And it opens the door to the bench over here, which is very important. I don't know. Soulcatcher might be a little bit better for what I'm doing. Yeah, for my playstyle, Soulcatcher seems a little bit better. I just don't like getting my HP low. Like, I know it will drop down low no matter what, but if I'm playing right, I should never get low enough where Fury of the Fallen gives me power. Which is important to know. That's why I never liked the, the blue Tearstone ring and the red Tearstone ring from Dark Souls. Never liked those ones. If I'm playing good, I should never be that low. Unless I'm doing like a glass cannon build, which I don't know if that's viable in most of those games. I know it is in Demon Souls. Which I am also a big fan of Souls games. I was tempted to stream a Souls game, but it was a modded version of Dark Souls 3 called the Cinders DLC, or the Cinders mod pack, which completely changed the game. Oh right, also the map will not really refresh until you sit down at a bench. Did I sit down at the bench? No, I did, because I did the charms. Can't get to the thing. Can't even hit past it. Oh well, guess I had to go the other way. The music in this game is so good. So, the wall is supposed to be your hint that like, it looks different, but also you can see the butterfly thing, which you should know means a lifeblood cocoon. which I can now look. Life seeds. Small scuttling seed filled with lifeblood, which can be extracted and consumed for its healthful properties. Honestly, the hunter in this game, with how he describes stuff, reminds me a lot of... what's his name? Is it Louis? Louis from Pikmin? Where he gives you monster descriptions for all the monsters, but it's just like how good they are to eat. And if you hear any weird noises, I live with family, so it might be somebody just walking around the house, or it's my chair squeaking, because I don't have a great chair. The greater mind once dreamed of Leaf and cast these caverns so. In every bush and every vine, the mind of Un reveals itself to us. Lore! So something called Un gave its dream to give life? I don't know, it's a little bit confusing. That is a bunch of leaves. Oh no, it closed. It's a guy. Oh, and he can block above him. Oh no. So I remember this fight giving me a lot of trouble. Because he's got like he's like a fighting game character. He's got an anti-air. He's got stuff to protect him from attacks from above, as well as in front of him. He's nuts for a beginner. And it's supposed to be like, okay, you've played a lot of the game. Prove that you have learned at least something. Which he does feel appropriately like that. Oh look, it looks more like the Crossroads now. It's very Dark Souls in that the entire color palette changes when you go from one zone to another. It's like going from Blighttown to, or going from the normal game to Blighttown, and you're like, oh, this area is poison because the entire game's color palette changed to green. Oh, there's a weird noise. Oh my god. That man's getting eaten. Let's heal and help him. Up. It can predict my shots. Well done, helpers. Bam! Killed it super good right away. Let's check that journal entry. Patriarch of the Vengeful Colony swoops on intruders and calls for reinforcements if threatened. Wake up. Just what do you think you're doing? You dare to come between me and my prey? It is a habit of yours to scurry around and getting in. Is it a habit of yours to get into other people's business? Words, I'm good at them. Know this, Kerr. I am Zoot the Mighty, a great knight of renown. Cross me again, and you'll find out why my weapon is called Life Enter. So, I always felt like Zoot was supposed to be like a Don Quixote type. What are you still bothering me for? I'm a knight. I'm not interested in your childish games. I need my rest. Begone, lest I draw my nail. He's clearly a delusional man who he wants to say that he's the best, even if he's not. And now the color palette changes back to green path. Zoot's definitely an interesting character. I think that you could just leave him to die. But we'll be seeing him again. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I had to keep going this way. Uh-oh, Moss Knight. god, there's two. Which they actually handled. I'm actually kind of feel proud about that. They were guarding a bunch of Geo. Oh, a bunch of Geo. Eventually, I'll be spending money on something big. So, it looks like on the map we have to go to the left. So yeah, if you don't shoot, if you don't have the soul to shoot them, you can just hit them, but it takes 3 times with the basic, without having any upgrades, and it takes a lot of work. I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm gonna go to the stag station down here, because it probably has a bench. And it would suck if I went into that big, important looking area without a stag or a bench. In fact, I'm gonna buy the stag and go back to Dirtmouth just so I can buy the rest of the items from that shop. And there was some other stuff I should have done, but Also, important thing to note that I don't think I told Renosuke, but I learned about it recently. If you go down here, you can actually talk to him about the locations. My, this place is much changed since I last saw it. The greenery grows so wild at the station, it's like it's been consumed. Eager to travel the Stagways? Just hop up on the platform and give me the signal, and we'll be on our way soon. Off to Dirtmouth. There's some other stuff that I should do, but I think I want to do the next boss fight before I go back to the Crossroads itself. Just because the next upgrade is a big one that makes life a lot easier. Oh hey, look, it's Zote. You there. Why are you skulking about in the shadows? Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. I am Zote the Mighty, a knight of great renown. Tremble before me. While you are hiding here in your dingy little village, I ventured into the dark pit below us and slew a great beast. It had sharp mandibles and atrocious manners. Yes, all glory to me, but I don't have time for your adulation. I must rest and prepare for the next great journey below. So, yeah, he just lies and says that he beat the enemy that we beat, and he didn't need saving. He doesn't even remember us. In fact, his mask looks just like ours, only slightly broken. The daft old fellow over there, he keeps talking absolute drivel. Seems to think that the very air is deadly down in the caverns. Perhaps he should consider not breathing. He keeps talking about dreams, too. Pah! Dreams are for those who are too feeble to truly live. Which he does. It is important to note that he totally is handling the air down there that seems to be poison that only some people can handle. What a squalid little hamlet this is. The air is foul and the townsfolk have beady eyes. I'll be heading back down below as soon as possible. Which I think is the end of his dialogue. I think Zote has the most dialogue in the game, too.
Bapanada.
Get the last pin. Grab the markers. Just, even though I don't really need them, just always good to have everything. And now new dialogue.
Bapanada.
After more supplies, you've already bought so much. Unfortunately for us, you've cleaned us out of everything worth selling. Corniful will no doubt be pleased, though I do wonder what he plans to spend all the Geo on. I'd like to think that he's going to spend the Geo on a nice vacation for them. Okay, back down I go. Back to Green Path. Just because I really want the next upgrade before I go about and start looking for stuff. Because the next upgrade is a big one. And it's like, I'm pretty sure the little doorway up here is just where it is. This weird one that looks kind of like an egg. I wonder if it is supposed to be an egg, like we're going into some ancient ancient little egg thing. Oh look, she killed somebody that looks like us. I'm sure we'll be best friends.
Droshik Halimo.
Come no closer, ghost. I've seen you, creeping through the underground, stalking me. The old kingdom, a terrible thing awakens. I can smell it in the air. I know what you are. I know what you tried to do. I can't allow it.
Garama.
Time to fight.
Edina.
Oh,
Ha.
oh, she's so cool. She throws her nail. She has like a little thread. And I know that you can bounce off of her needle, which is super cool. I jumped right into that attack. Like that. That's how you really do style. I wonder if they actually made like a language for this game. Because I know some developers will go to great means just to make their game as authentic as possible, with making a language just for the characters to speak. Hey, I beat her. Oh, she's gone. Boy, it sure would be cool to have those abilities. I got the Mothwing cloak. I can press R2. I'll press L2 a lot to dash forwards. Use the cloak to quickly dash around the ground and through the air. So, I got my first... Oh! Would it seek to break the seals? They cannot be undone. They must not be undone. Let us sleep, little shadow. Return to darkness. Allow us our peace. Oh. Just slammed us with something. With like mad oranges. But yeah, dash, dash, dash. You can jump dash. You can air dash too. It's like a Marvel game. Actually, the Knight would be great for Marvel vs. Capcom. But the dash gives a lot more maneuverability and makes this game a lot... Like, this is a turning point for the game. Because you get to see that your character will start being real fast. And I opened up a little shortcut. There are so many movement abilities in this game, it's great. I always love a good game where your upgrades give you the ability just to move faster, go quicker, just be better at the game. Ooh. Lake of Un. Those holes look freaky. The Moss Knight's just chilling and looking. Let's see what's in here. Oh, look. It's, what's his name? Quirrell. Oh, hello. Hello there. Seems we both tread far from the path. I can hardly believe those dusty old highways led to such a lush and lively place. The building suggests some form of worship, and though its idol has clearly been forgotten. Doubles equally well for a moment's rest, though, or a moment's respite. You can see some shape in the idol in the background, but it's possible to really tell what it looks like. Especially since it kind of looks like it's broken. I saw a strange fellow out there. He seemed quite taken by the lake. I'd planned to offer a greeting, though figured I'd best tend to my nail on chance our meeting goes poorly. Your nail looks like a fine instrument, but it's showing signs of wear. I'd wager up there it would it would take you far. Down here, however, I suspect that you'll be meeting dangers that the surface world can't match. Hollowness is perfect for vigilant explorers like us. So tense and thrilling. In this place, there's you're either alert or you're dead. He has a point. It's also fun that the game has other characters that seem to be going on their own journeys, but still exploring around the area, like Cornifer and Quirrell. Yeah, same dialogue. So, I'm gonna go see about what that Moss man is up to. Hey, buddy. Just chilling, looking at the lake. Ow. He's not a friend. Bad. He fell into the acid. Yeah, even the grass down there looks weird. Got little lines, like wiggly bits. There's a lot of holes in the background. Looks like something can live in there. But maybe that's what they're worshipping, is the rocks. Who knows? Just gonna heal back up, just to be safe. Okay, wow, it has been an hour and 30 minutes already. Making good progress so far. Now, let's see. Where next? I'm gonna take the Stagway back to the crossroads now I have this and do a little bit more exploring. There's always stuff that you can find when looking around. So, oops. I was gonna say I could check what's over here if I missed anything. Because yeah, there's a shortcut over here. Because I know I missed some stuff in the crossroads that's very important to get. Basically, I think that there's 2 shopkeepers down there that it would do good to get. Yeah, I haven't streamed in ages since... Basically, I got a whole new computer since the last time, but my old one, the capture card ended up breaking, which meant streaming console games was no chance. I guess I could have streamed them using built-in capture, but I mean that works for Renosuke, but I don't know. If I'm gonna stream, I want to at least make sure that I don't have the weird PlayStation streaming setup. It looks so freaky. So that's the downside to having the good dash. I am going to be dashing into a lot of enemies. Okay, yeah. Over this way has some stuff that's important. I like that you can see that he's, like, jumping, but he's actually doing, like, a little slash when he gets down to the bottom. Oh, I should actually look at the journal for, first off, Mosskin, plant-like bug that charges at the foes. But more importantly, Hornet, skilled protector of Hollowness ruins, wields a needle and thread. Defeat one more time. I wonder if we're going to see her again. And Shade. So I haven't actually seen one of these, but when you die, instead of like most Souls games or Souls-style games where you leave a little blood stain, you leave a shade. Echo of a previous life. Defeat it to retake its power and become whole. Each of us leaves an imprint of something when we die. A stain on the world. I don't know how much longer this kingdom has to bear the weight of so many past lives. But basically, when you die, you leave a shade, and you have to defeat it, which it will attack back. And when you defeat it, you'll, well, when you die, you lose all your Geo, and you have to get it back from killing it. But also, you lose half of the soul meter. So, you really, really want to beat him. But I haven't died yet, so haven't really shown that mechanic off too well. Oh, right. There's this thing. Also, look at that weird idol in the middle. Ominous and spiky. Look up. I beat it. So that boss actually has way more mechanics, and there is a harder version in the in some other spots in the game. But basically, it would smash up and down real fast. Oh right. It smashes up and down real fast, and it will charge in your direction, but it's pretty simple. Nothing too big. Ooh. Oh, there's a little entryway. Ugh. What's wrong with him? He's got the weird orange goo on him. Oh, Oro, you oof. You wield your nail like a club. Esme, how much deeper do we have to go? Oh, what? Who are you? I see. The old village. What a strange dream to have led me down here. If you hadn't found me, I don't think I would have ever woken up. I'm Sly. Usually, I live an uneventful life up in Dirtmouth. The air in these ruins doesn't agree with me, so I'd best be going back. If you return above, come and see me. I'm probably the friendliest face left in there. I'm probably the friendliest face left there, and I can thank you properly for the good deed. You're exploring then? Very brave. Plenty of courageous wanderers have been lost to the hunger of these old caverns. You have your nail, though, and I can tell just by looking at you, you know how to wield it. Yeah, I am a nail. I'm good with it. Oh boy, I wonder what's in here. It's a giant grub lady. She's laughing. Ooh, you surprised me. Hello, hello. Come in, sweetling. Come in and make yourself at home. I'm Salubra, and this is my cozy little charm store. Did the townsfolk out there tell you to come and visit me? Yes. This is a lovely little village, isn't it? Warm and intimate and full of life. Sure. I just noticed that she has incense burning in the background. I wonder if that's why she's safe from whatever the weird air stuff is. What were we talking about? Oh yes, charms. I can see you've started your own collection. Very nice. I'll show you some of my own, and you can take one home with you if you like. So she's one of the most important stores because she has tons of charms that are super useful, but also she sells notches if you have enough charms. And notches mean that you can equip more charms. It's kind of like, what was that game? It's kind of like Paper Mario, which, if any of you watch a fellow streamer that I know of, Strident Song, he's playing Paper Mario. So yeah, you can buy more notches, and you equip them to basically be able to have more slots for more notches. But in order to get the notches, you gotta get enough charms. So 5, 10, 18, 25. And it actually tells you how many more you need. So I'm gonna buy Steady Body, which very useful charm. I'm gonna have to save up for Long Nail, because Long Nail's super needed. At least for me. Especially, I'm gonna be trying to resist the urge to go my normal summoner build, with the weavers and the bugs and all that. But for now, the main goal is just gonna be, gotta equip more charms. I'm sure they did it, but I would love to see like the store just sell every single charm as a pin. Because I collect a lot of pins, and I would buy all of them. I'm pretty sure somebody sells them on Etsy. Which, Etsy's always good. And again, if you guys hear any weird noises, you might be able to pick up my mic might be picking up the front door opening and closing. I live with a family. We have dogs. They need to get walked. Steady body keeps its bearer from recoiling backwards when they strike an enemy with a nail. Allows one to stay steady and keep attacking. Pretty useful for some builds. Oh, I just noticed that. I should have pointed this out. When you sit at a bench for too long, the knight will end up... Hurry up. Do it. Do it. He'll fall asleep. Which is kind of adorable. I love it. The knight's a weirdly adorable protagonist for one of these types of games. Normally the protagonists are some cool guy or some anime man or anime lady. Like, oh god, what's her name? Bloodstained lady. Not Shinoa from Castlevania. But Shinoa's cool too. But yeah, no, this character's just adorable. Yeah, with the dash, these enemies are like nothing anymore. But now that I did that... Oh yeah, that boss, the Gruz Mother. Mature Gruzzer that carries its young in its belly. Attacks by hurling its huge body around. Okay, let's see. I could go up from here. I don't even remember what was up from here. Was there a reason I didn't already do it? Killed it. Yeah, this one. Which, there was a little sign. Oh, this enemy has a shield and attacks a few times. But they do seem like the last enemies. It's just that they attack and have a shield. It's kind of like a weaker version of the Mosskin Knights. There's a weird symbol. One of the big ones. Glow coming out here. Looks like a tram. A door with an open slot. Huh. Well, we can't do that right now. Huh. Lots of interesting architecture, like these actually look like buildings. Okay, so I just went back down here. Brain Dome. Didn't mean to go back down here. Or wait. Oh, I filled up more of the map. Now I'm confused. Let's go. Back up. Okay, so... I'm gonna need to find a bench just to make the map fill out. But... big thing for this game, you want your map to fill out. A full map is a happy map. Grub. Play game good, get grub. But what, is there anything over on the side just by itself? No. I very well might have to go BRB in a second. which I don't have a good BRB screen. But I have one that I made just as a preparation because of, I think I made it during the last, right before the last stream, but didn't really need it because the last stream I did was on my birthday oh god, my last stream was a couple of years ago. But it was of the dot hack. I got to Volume 4 and I wanted to actually stream that because dot hack is always been one of my favorite game franchises. It's so good. And by good, I mean it's just something I grew up with that was really fun. Not worth going through. It's dark and spooky. I wonder if I need an item that can light the way. See, this is what game design is. Oops. But now that I actually can stream, I'll probably stream a little bit more. Okay. Ooh, good just not live. Yeah. I'm gonna be real. I don't think I'm ever gonna be a professional streamer, but I at least like streaming occasionally. Ooh, my voice is cracking. I might have to get a thing of water when I get out of here, just to moisten the throat. Sorry if I make weird noises and that gets annoying. I guess the best word to call it would be a freak. Oh, let's see what the grub guy has. Get some money before I go back up. Because the stores should be open. Yes, money. Oh. It's something. Oh hey, it's one of those weird glowing crystals. It's a mass fragment. It's exactly what you guys would think it is. It's a heart fragment from Zelda. Every game with a HP thing is going to have a thing for a Metroidvania where you have to look around all over the place and get a bunch of fragments that will increase your max health. Always super good to find. Always just a great upgrade to get. Though unlike Zelda, ooh, new NPC. Tell me your ways, man. Pale thing, you wear that nail with ease. If you're in search for combat, you'll find no great warriors in this decaying burrow. I've heard this area, that an arena exists somewhere below, one built for you or our like. Oh, hey Marsh, I'm streaming Hollow Knight. I should have sent you a notification, but I forgot. Been playing this stream all week because I watched a friend beat Hollow Knight. There's an arena that exists below, one built for our like. Meet me there and we'll test our skills. Test what skills you possess. I'll be heading down soon. Come and find me if you dare. So this guy like talks big, but I don't think this is actually a boss fight here. I am going to enjoy myself. Make sure to get lots of rest once you do get to bed, though. Because, yeah, time zones, it's like 1 for you, I think? I'm not good with time zones. But I will have a good time. But thanks for stopping by. Hollow Nest. What challengers await in its ruins? Yeah, it's just a little NPC. Just talk to him. He doesn't do much. But more importantly, the store's open. Ah, hello. I knew we'd meet again. How do you like my cozy little store? I've made myself pretty comfortable here, selling old trinkets to travelers like yourself. Look at the mask, the cool key he has, and that giant nail. Ooh, imagine if you had a nail that big for combat. If you're planning a trip below, I have several items that may improve your chance of survival. Ooh, mask fragments, a vessel fragment, which increases the amount of soul that you can get. Simple key, gathering swarm, grabbing that. It's the best, one of the best charms in the game. And at 1800, a lantern. Which, as you guys saw earlier, there's a little area that you can't get to because you need a lantern. And a rancid egg. Also the stalwart shell charm, which is very useful. I think it's really good for, like, glass cannon builds because it gives you more iframes when you get hit. So you get hit, and then you just, like, use steady body so you don't get knocked back and just slam through enemies real fast. Or not glass cannon, but, I guess tankier builds. Okay. Goodbye that. Need gathering swarm, and since I have one extra, steady body. Actually, I will show one mechanic real quick. It's a mechanic I will never, ever use. I'm going to warn you guys that now, because I suck at the game. It almost looked like I could equip it. There's a little pink thing for it. Do it. Do it! Do it! So this is overcharmed, where if you have a charm that costs extra notches, but you still have one slot left, you can try to equip it, and you'll be overcharmed. You'll get that charm's ability, but you'll take double damage, which is why we'll never be using that mechanic. I believe that was added with Godmaster. It's a pretty good ability, but, If I really needed the charm abilities, I would figure out a different build, or I would unequip the compass. But right now, the compass is super useful. He's sleeping, which means I will have to BRB. So haven't used the BRB yet. It's not very good. It's just some art that was from .hackgu, Last Recode, I think is the name of the collection. I didn't play the collection for a while, which, again, anybody who wants it, .hack Last Recode, real good game, but I'm gonna have to go BRB for a little bit. Before we do more, obviously, I got some water. Not sure if you guys can actually hear that. So we're just gonna sit here. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water before we continue. And I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna mute the mic, obviously, when I drink, but I'm just gonna ramble. Do a little solo podcast. So yeah, obviously don't have a layout for, streaming. Gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on a lot of stuff for streaming. Who knows, might get a VTuber model. I have an idea. It's not solid, but I have some idea. Maybe I'll just do it the easy way and just see about making a 3D model. Marsh, who was in here earlier, they know a lot of stuff. Great content creator. All of you should check them out. They do good art, they do good live streams, they do good 3D models for VR chat. So maybe I'll ask for some tips. They know their stuff. That way I can make my own VTuber model. But my basic idea right now is, well, maybe I'll just leave that for a surprise, actually. That sounds like a good idea. But I'll do a layout, the VTuber thing, it'll be incorporated if I do it for the layout, but it'll be a fun idea. Probably won't play up a character, though. And might use the character for something else also. Well, I do like making my little silly art stuff occasionally. Which, if you don't know, I believe it's down below. There's a link to my Twitter. That's my Safe for Work Twitter. There's a link to the other one, but I'm not gonna actively shill that. If people find it and like it, they'll like it. But there's at least a few people on there. Actually, now that I think about it, did I tweet out that I'm streaming on my Safe Twitter or my Not Safe for Work one? I think I just did it quick, so it was on my Not Safe for Work one. That sucks. But I also will be adding more stuff to the bio. I have an Instagram. It's not that great. It's not like a face reveal thing. People who care enough about what I look like will know what I look like. I'm kind of open with showing what I look like. It's mostly pictures of flowers and baked goods, because I like baking. I like flowers. I like gardening. Need a better camera though. I've just been using my phone. But I'll probably add my Instagram to it, just to have that there. Ooh, I just noticed that both that Hollow Guy and Marsh both followed, which thank you guys. I sadly won't be streaming as much as I probably would want, mainly because I have responsibilities. I have a big family. I'm responsible. I have to help. Also, another thing that I should bring up, since I've mentioned him a lot throughout the stream, my brother is a very big reason why I can even stream. He knows a lot more about this streaming stuff and helped me set up stuff. He told me about the microphone I use. It's a Blue Yeti. He told me about what I should probably get as upgrades eventually, which is a sound mixer and a nice microphone with a pop filter, which I can already tell whenever I go pop, it's going into the red, which that's a problem. But a mixer board, that's very important. I'm gonna have to get one of those. But for now, this is good enough for streaming. Maybe if I save up eventually I can get that other stuff, but honestly, if I could, I would have a PS5 by now, but can't get that because all that stuff. I only have the controller. Controller's pretty good though. I would actually highly suggest this controller to anybody. Sadly on PC, the haptic feedback doesn't come off that well. The only thing I've really gotten it to work with is Spotify. But weird, right? Why would Spotify of all things? But it acts as a subwoofer and will vibrate to the music. Not very well, but it's something. Which is just a nice detail. It's really fun when you're listening to Doom music or like Glory Hammer. Glory Hammer. Listen to Glory Hammer. It's great. More water time. I should also bring up, now that I've drinking enough water, which my desk is all cluttered, I had to move stuff. And if anybody's wondering, the reason I don't have a camera on is because my room is kind of messed up. I can't explain why. It's not a good situation, but eventually that might get brought up and fixed. Though again, VTuber model would end up fixing that better. Okay. There's some paths we haven't gone. There's that path down in Green. There's a few paths down in Green Path. I might go down there. Yeah, let's go down there. But my brother, he doesn't actively stream. He's more into the recording stuff. Like, he wants to upload to YouTube and stuff, which... Should I upload this VOD to YouTube? It's not very good, but I guess somebody might want it eventually. And again, sorry if my quality is bad. I'm still getting used to the levels. I don't even know if the game's too loud or too quiet. I tested this earlier, but it's so hard to tell when it's just you. I see that I got viewers, but I don't really know any way to see them. having the dash makes handling those guys so much easier. Yeah, I guess I'll just go down from this angle. Geo. As you can see, Geo now just goes straight to me with the little bugs. But sometimes they get stuck like this. So you have to go real fast to break their path there. But yeah, the most my brother streams is that he's a part of somebody else's streams on every Monday. Him and his oh, didn't see the mouth. Him and his Final Fantasy 14 raid static, which me and him both play Final Fantasy 14. I don't have a raid static, but it's not something I would go against. The most, if I probably did, I would probably just go with people in my free company, which we're on Ultros. Me and my free company are Elmig, which, if you know about us, then you know why we're called that. Oh, maybe lower the volume a bit. It's not too loud, but other people might think otherwise. The volume for me or for the game? That's an important distinction. Okay, I can lower that right now. That's not too hard. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Okay. And thanks for showing up, Daisy. But yeah, my brother streams every Monday with his 14 static. I think they're, oh, what was their name? They had a really dumb one, which is really funny because they recently made a big accomplishment. I think it's Pleasantly Surprised. Ooh, these thorns have orange goo. Just like the blood of all the weird enemies. Except for the, oh no, the moss people too. Ooh, a lore tablet. From moss and leaf, our life is drawn. While it grows upon the path, we shall never wilt. So I guess this is like Mosskin lore. But yeah, my brother's static. They recently beat E3S, which I watched them a little bit. I can't even comprehend it. Oh, I know what this is. Oop. Okay. Well, I can't do anything, but I'll kill this thing and it'll make me feel better. You can't do that until you get a later upgrade. But E3S is basically a super tough fight. Yeah, kill it with Soulfire, which, like, Soulfire is that could be like a metal band name. But yeah, I could never comprehend doing like Savage content. It all just seems way too hard for me. But maybe I'll stream 14 sometime. But E3S is, they brought back a bunch of old bosses, and you have to fight them, and the Savage content is basically the hardest tier. Yeah, power metal or like fantasy metal, like Glory Hammer. Where am I going? Okay, yeah, I have to go down. Heal up. Oh, sniped me. So, if another game that I that I kind of wish I could stream just because I know it's got the biggest pop-offs of all time is, the... Oh god, that thing. It shoots at you. But the other game is, Aegis Rim 13 Sentinels. Because I've heard that game has the biggest pop-offs ever. Despite the story being kind of confusing. Can I shoot those back? Okay, I could if I was good, but I'm not, so... Ooh, it's dark in here. Ow. Ugh, these look freaky. Spooky masks. And weird little thingy. And it's too dark to see properly. I should not be doing this. But I'm still gonna. A face carved from stone. Kinda. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be there yet. Still, these statues are freaky. Looks like something out of a horror game almost. Or like, I don't know, it looks like a ghost that is crying. And I don't actually think that I can do that yet. I think I need a certain power up. So I went the wrong way. And I don't mean like a certain power up like the light function. I need the halfway through the game power up. Oops. That was a mistake. Because this is the thing I saw where somebody... No, you can just do this. Oh, this is the boss. Oh no, this is the boss, and I have very little HP. Oh, I'm going to die. Dang it. I jump every time I'm not supposed to. So yeah, that's the shade function, which I have managed to avoid seeing all the way up until now. Nah, the Stagway's still closer. So yeah, when you die, you lose all of your Geo, and it all will stick to your corpse. Which, once you... And also, you lose half your soul gauge, which is the real brutal one. Because, like, you can't even heal properly without that. Oh, right. I just remembered there's an easier way to open up the map. One that will let you actually keep moving. Dang it. Well, I did warn people. I am not good. But I can beat that boss now that I actually know that it's there. Oh god, I say that now. I'm gonna take forever beating that thing. Luckily, losing half your soul isn't actually that big of a downside. Because you still have your nail. You still have all your basic moves. It's really just your shot and your healing. Yeah, I hope that my streams are nice and chill and good for people to just relax. I definitely don't want to like come across as like, what's the word? Too high strung, I guess. Okay, so yeah, you have to beat your shade in order to get your soul and stuff back, which the boss will not wait for you to do that. Dang it. Ah. Yeah. Dang it. Beat him. Ah. Ah, it was just a bunch of those little guys. Let's see. Journal. Massive moss charger. Family of creatures that have learnt to bulk up with moss and live as one. There is strength in numbers, yes, but these creatures never had the strength to begin with. Cut through their trickery. What did you get for beating them? I genuinely... Ooh, Geo. I genuinely don't remember. Guess it's just more of the path ahead. There's clearly more way up. Don't have the ability to jump that high. Kill Bert. Dang it. I shot too low. Smack. Smack. I like the little pew noise that it makes. Ooh, secret. Oh god. Dang it. Too greedy. I want Geo. Give money. Give coin. I want coin. And back down we go. But don't have to deal with the boss again, so that at least makes it slightly easier to get back to my stuff. Yeah, 2v1, it's not fair. Though that did remind me of something else. I probably won't stream it, but there's this new game called Intruder that's been real fun to play with my free company for 14. Basically, dang it, every time. I want to fall for that hole every time. Basically a 5v5 game where it's intruders versus defenders, kind of like CSGO, or not CSGO, Siege. But it's very mechanics heavy. Like, actually, I should heal up. It's got a heavy focus of like, you have a balance gauge, and if you get shot, your balance will go down. But also, if you're running, your balance will go down. And I think, like, snipers, you need a certain amount of balance in order to even shoot the gun. And there's also, like, bananas that you can put down that will make people slip, which are weirdly good traps around doors. Oh god. But yeah, every time you die, you need to go back and go to your grave. Kind of like, what was the first game that had that? Like Diablo, I guess, or Diablo 2? But there is another method to get your soul back, but it's basically just bringing your grave to you. Oh wait, I forgot the thing that killed me. Must go to thing. Die. Must be greedy. Want Geo. Geo. give coin. I want to buy that lamp. Or some good charms. Ow. Whack. Ooh, looks like there's a bunch of Geo over there, but gotta get over there. But yeah, Intruder, it's a really fun game, and I would really suggest it to people who have a bunch of friends to play with. Though, I'm sure that you could have fun playing with randoms. Little guys walking around down there. And over here. I should also bring up that every time you do a dash, you have to wait for it to recharge. But a way to get the dash back is to bounce off of people. Geo. Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have a free company that want to play that game. Though they've been playing it almost every night lately. I actually decided to not do that to stream this. Yeah, as you can see, if you bounce off an enemy, you can get your thing back. Free grub. Happy grub. Can't get up there, though. I feel like I need some type of power-up that will let me go up walls. Dang it. Dang it. I tried to save time. I should have remembered that lesson I got. The way to waste, the biggest waste of time is trying to save time. Yeah, the grubs are adorable. This game has a lot of adorable creatures in it. Like, the Hollow Knight itself, or not the, I guess, yeah, the Hollow Knight is pretty adorable. But the grubs are definitely like the winners of the cutest bug contest for this game. Though I think the miners are pretty good too. Like the little bugs that mine stuff. Oh, even those little weird bird guys are pretty cute. Let's see. There's still that path over there, but I can't really do it. So let's see what's down. And yeah, there's a path up there. Wait, can I do this path? Oh yeah, I can. But I would need the ability to jump higher. Though it's just some soul. And it's still good, especially since I'm not at max health. But the art style really helps, since it's kind of simplistic, but still has enough cuteness in it. Though some enemies definitely push the edge of the creativity of the developers. Ooh, color palette change. That means that we're going to a new area. Oh no. I remember this area. Fog Canyon. Got little jelly men. They're called Uma. Smallest jelly form. Passive, unaware, but pulsing with dangerous static electricity. Or just electricity. So, I remember this place because of this. That does 2 hearts of damage. Ooh, I can hear Cornifer. But if you smack him down, the core gets shot into the acid, so can't even hit you. Can't get past it. I think there is a way to get past it, but I don't remember what. Like, obviously there's a way to get past it much later, but I think if you I think there's a way to dash at the right time and you'll just pass through it, but that might have gotten patched when they released the Void Heart edition, which is just final edition. But the map man is on the other side, so is there a way over here that I didn't know? Oh no, that's still Green Pass. I hope that didn't it respawned everything. I didn't want that. Well, the big jelly didn't respawn. Hopefully there's a path around to get to him. But it might take a bit. Just gotta try to be smart about my surroundings. Ooh. Definitely should not have done that. Would have been better if I had, like, some way to dash through it. Ooh. Before I go to him, I definitely should get that stag station. Which it said it's down in this direction. Ow. Do these guys even give soul? I can't tell. I forget. The heck is that symbol? Stag station first. This is the Queen Station. There's Quirrell. Isn't this something? I'd not expect to discover so huge a stag station after a foggy descent. The bugs of Hallownest must have been an impressive lot, building such grand structures so far into these wilds. Seems the dangerous creatures about haven't yet made their way in here. It's a perfect place for a quick rest. Can you imagine this place in its time? Hordes of bugs traveling about the kingdom, stag bells ringing, the station bustling with activity and life. Now, only our like even knows it exists. That's a special thing, I suppose, to cherish these sites even in their decay. This guy has a good point. It's like urban exploring. Is it that, just faintly, you can still hear the echo of the bells? Oops. Like, there's signs all over for all the different stag stations. Hello. Oh, come in search of treats, have you? I chanced upon a unique little fungus growing right above us. I found it only in this station, and it tastes just divine. This place must once have been quite the hub, built on the border between two lands. That misty drop is on one side and those bulbous growths on the other. Neither place seems particularly welcoming, so while my little treat lasts, I think I'll stay right here. Feel free to stop by anytime, though I do like the quiet in this station. A little company is always good for one's health. She's cool. Oh yeah, there's some weird bulbous things on around here, though I haven't actually seen them yet. Little rest bench and stag station, always useful. And I'll just summon the stag just so I can talk to him. You've opened several stag stations now, haven't you? I'm thankful for the opportunity to once more travel through the kingdom. As I visit more places, I feel my memories returning to me, like the stag waves of my mind are running once more. Continue to open the stations, and you'll be in the deepest gratitude. This gladdens me. The Queen Station has opened once more. This place was a bustling hub for travel, well placed for travelers visiting the outer edges of the land. You're quite the explorer to find this place. And that's just his normal dialogue. Let's see. Ooh, that's the sound of something glowing. And of me not being able to get up to it. Dang it. I wish that my character could just climb walls. It's a mask fragment. I want it. Let's see. Well, they did mention that it's between two lands. Is there another area on this side? Yep, the fungal waste. That's the bulbous stuff. Ow. It's mushroom land. Wait, Cornifer's over here. Ah. So, pretty sure it's highly unlikely to get Cornifer in Fog Canyon before he leaves. But seeing that he has papers here makes me like, oh, well, might as well just get the fungal waste one. If I didn't miss it. Float up higher. I want up. Give upsies. Dang it. I don't think they were going to get high enough anyway. Eh, high enough. His paper stopped leading me to him, so he must be somewhere around here. Ah, he's down. Where's Cornifer? Give Cornifer. Here he is. Ah, my short friend. You've caught me at the perfect time. I'm just about finished charting these noxious caverns. Very territorial types make their homes within this area. I'd suggest avoiding them where possible. Further below, some strange, thin creatures gave me quite a scare. They seemed to be an intelligent bunch. In my youth, I'd have braved their caves, but I fear my matured physique wouldn't be able to outrun them were they to turn violent. Purchase map. Finned creatures. There's a potent odor about these caverns, and far worse for me is a potent odor about these caverns, and far worse for me, I suspect. My trunk is quite sensitive, whereas you don't seem to possess a scent organ of any kind. Oh yeah, I don't have a nose. Weird. Is it that you cannot smell at all? That's a good question. I never really thought about that. Yeah, just the same dialogue. While I want to continue, I kind of want to go back to Fog Canyon and see if I can't find my way over to him on the other side of that weird glowy gate. But hopefully I can do that, because I kind of want all the maps I can get. And also, weird symbol. I want to see what weird symbol is. Oh.
Oh, Bakura Pinero.
Hello there, dearie. I was about to close up shop and run till you came along. I provide a banking service if you're interested. Losing one's geo is a terrible thing, and it's so much more likely if you carry it about yourself. My vault is much more secure. In all my time as a banker, I never lost a single geo. Alright, enjoy lurking. Hopefully I am giving a chill air, which is good for lurking. She's never lost a single geo. Maybe you consider opening an account. Yeah, I'll open an account. Might as well. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Just you, Geo.
You're a smart one. Next time some dreadful beastie gets the best of you, you'll be glad to know your geo's safe within my my vault. Let's do some banking. I'm not going to deposit anything just because I'm trying to find Cornifer, but I'll come back after Cornifer and put some in. It's just good to have a bank, even if it's like it's right by the station too, so that's kind of useful. Oh wait, I don't have a map. Actually, is there any way to get up there? Oh, something over here. Looks like big plant. Big plant I can't do anything about. Dang it. It looks like cool flowers. I like flowers. I have a whole Instagram about flowers. It actually doesn't look like I can get back up. Weird. Oh well, fungal waste then. There's probably some other entrance there that I would have to get through. Huh. Ah. More orange explodey men. Extra explodey. But yeah. Oop. Dang it. That was very easy to avoid. Yeah, I talked about it earlier, but there's... Ooh. Ah, 2 damage because it's an explosion. This area is very dangerous. But I talked about it earlier. Other games I might stream is like roguelikes. I was actually expecting to stream World of Horror at some point, but been kind of busy. I just killed Mushroom Owen Wilson. Oh, I mentioned Owen Wilson. Now I'm banned from Games Done Quick. The Owen Wilsons are actually pretty sturdy, so they kind of suck. Ah, tiny mushrooms, big mushrooms. And it got stinky. There's a stink filter. Stink filter means mushrooms. Alright, they have a stink field that will damage you. Beat the stink. Ooh. Leopard. Door. My brain is going simple words. That's how you can tell I've been going for a while. Geo. Mushroom. Kill. Looks like more stuff. What's over this way? I think that's just where I... Was this where I killed an Owen Wilson? It's not listed. Yeah, this is probably where I killed an Owen Wilson. Regardless, there was a door. There was stuff. I want to see what's down. Or no, this is where the blocked off door was. So I'll just go back this way. My stomach isn't feeling good. That's not a good sign. Oh, the little mushrooms, they can't even run. It's a slaughter. But it's a fun slaughter. Can't spell slaughter without laughter. Not that way. I meant to go, I don't know where I'm going at this point. It would be nice if there was a bench. Maybe down. No, I went down. Maybe I had to go up? Up sounds about right. Oh wait, didn't even notice this up. Go up. Ooh, looks like there's a big mushroom. Oh, big mushroom mad. Big mushroom mad. Oh god, its head bumping. Oh god, they leave goo. Ow. It's one mushroom down. Mushrooms aren't that bad. What do I get for that? Ooh, a charm notch. Charm notches are the best. Such solid upgrades that just give you more abilities. Now I can equip more notches. What's this? Owen Wilson. I wonder if Owen Wilson would be upset by knowing that there's an enemy in this game that sounds like him. Wow. Wow. Ow. Ow. That... At least the explosion killed the thingy that caused it. Oh god. Oh god, another one. Oh, they take so many hits, it's almost not worth killing them. What's over here? What the... Oh. Oh. It's cloth. Ah. Aha! The tiny steps of a tiny creature. You got the look of an adventurer on you. So, we've much in common. Searching for dangerous places, eh? Well, you've come on the right track. You're on the right track. I can't talk today. A long-necked creature warned me of a tribe deeper down. Warrior sorts. So, she says, and I'm itching for some serious combat. Keep sharp, my adventurous friend. Stay alive, and let's meet again on the road ahead. She's cool. You can tell that she's just doing her own game. Geo. So yeah, these things, you bounce on them, but if you down attack, you shoot way higher. And as I said earlier, bounce attacking, even those will get you your dash back, which is very good to have. Some of the bugs here have cordyceps. They even seem kind of worse off when it comes to the infection. It makes you wonder, maybe the infection started here. Oh. Oh no, it's Hornet again. What does she want? She's zooming. Here ends the Pilgrim's Way. Hollownest's heart lays open before you. Please proceed onward to share in its glory. Yeah, I'll do that. Can't even, like, jump up there. Let's go the other way. Oh, weird. There's some weird bodies over here. Give me 1 second to take a sip of my drink. So just to bring up, water is important for you. But I am big dumb. So I have a fancy water bottle that tells me how much water I should drink at what times. Basically, it's just saying, it says get started on the top, and at the bottom it says you did it, time for a refill. Along with times like 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Just to give you an idea. And this is gonna sound dumb, but even just like the tiny things it does to help like that has gotten me to drink a lot more water. As dumb as that is. Though, It helps that I also got a pitcher water filter. Ah, ah. But I really needed a pitcher water filter because the water filter in my fridge broke and we didn't really have a good means to fix it. Eh, 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 eh. Grub. But the pitcher water filter is actually pretty good. People just have to remember to refill it every time, but that's not that bad. I falled. Let's see. Oh, it looks like there's a bunch of stuff over there, but let's see what's over this way. Oh, hold on. Break. Ow. Am I back up to Cornifer? Huh. Well, I already got the map from him, so not that big a deal, but weird. Well, as I gotta, I guess, go the other way like I was going. Right, this door was locked, and okay. Time to keep going. So I don't know how long this stream is gonna last. The whole dry throat thing is causing a bit of a problem, but I think I should be good. Ooh, that's some masks of dead bugs. Oh right, I was supposed to. Oh, mantis. Mantis warrior, member of a proud tribe, fearlessly protective of its territory, launches savage attacks with bladed forearms or forelimbs. No, die. The mantises are cool. They even have an anti-air. So sick. But it looks like the flying ones at least die when on hit. Wanderer seeking death, welcome. May you find swift end upon our claws. They're so cool. Alright, now I remember what I was going to do earlier. I was going to go to that bank, but... Where is it? I don't even have it on the map because I haven't been able to sit for a while. Which is not a good sign. You should not really play the game like that. But when have I ever done anything intelligent? Some people would say never. Ow. Got too greedy. Got hit. Oh, a bench. Get that right after I do this. So I've talked about it before to people. I had thought about a certain layout thing. I forget who I talked about it to. But I was thinking of a way to stream multiple games at once. Because I'm a freak. And I thought it would be cool if I'm playing some game where it's grind heavy, and I just had Fate Go or Grand Blue up in another tab. Because I play those games a lot. And I know that some people might enjoy watching the grind. Like maybe I'm playing Skya, I set up the turn to go, all the characters start doing their attacks, and I just start playing some fake go in the corner. A bench. Oh, that's so good. And I have another notch. I could get rid of steady body, but it is pretty useful, but I don't know. But I want... And both of those cost 2, I think, so... Best just to wait for now. Oh, she sounds scared. Poor thing. Oh well. Ooh, water. Well, can't go through there. Ooh. Dash Master. That's a charm. Could get rid of Steady Buddy for that. Bears the likeness of the eccentric bug known as the Dash Master. The bearer will be able to dash more often as well as dash downwards. Perfect for those who want to move around as quickly as possible. Sounds pretty useful. Especially for exploration. But does it offset not being able to... Not being able to, oops. Not being... Having the... Damn it. Not being... Having the steady body. I think it does. Because... Look how much of an improvement that is. And I can dash down now. Which you'll do, like, once. I can't think of any combat reasons to do that. But... It looks cool. And really, is there anything else you want in life more than looking cool? Geo... Okay, a little bit higher is another path that I didn't go yet. Ooh, there's light coming out of this path. Let's see. Looks like they want to make sure that you have the dash. Another mantis. The Mantis Village. So I guess I know what enemies we're going to be fighting a bunch of right now. Ooh, there's something up there. I can't get up there, though. Damn. Messed her up. Or him, I guess. I don't know. Is it wrong to assume the gender of a mantis? Yeah, probably. Oh, but I opened that door. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me, but they're bugs. I don't even know if they... Well, I guess saying that I don't even know if they have a gender doesn't help. Especially considering I'm me. I mean, nobody can tell with me. Oh. It's the Mantis Claw. Lovely upgrade. Press X to jump on walls. You can slide down them and jump up for more power or for more height. Now I can Mega Man exit and I can dash straight off a wall, which is super useful. You know, that's another game that I should probably play. I'm pretty sure the Mega Man X collection is on Steam, but I've never actually played Mega Man X all the way through. I played I think I played some Zero, but never X. And I played a little bit of ZX. I also never really... Well, no, I played the other Mega Man games at one point. Like the original Mega Man games, but with them, I mean, I never really... I played them with the Legacy Collection back on, I want to say Xbox? Oh, no, there was more Path in the Mantis Village. I played them back a long time ago on the Legacy Collection, where I could basically cheat to win, because, I mean, those games are brutal. Nobody would judge me for that. Well, I mean, they would, but I wouldn't care. Oh god, I left so everything respawned. But they're not that bad of a threat. Oh, so there was some sad news today I saw online. Guilty Gear Strive, another game that might stream it. I don't know, might not, because I mean, the best way to play it would be on PlayStation. Actually, I think the PlayStation is the only way to play it. What am I saying? But it got delayed to June. Makes me sad. I was real excited to play that, especially since it's got the good rollback netcode. Makes all the other games look like jokes. Like, I've heard people saying that it's hard to go back to, like, Street Fighter or Dragon Ball. But I mean, that's the way of things. If people keep making their games with bad online, I mean, people aren't going to play them. Let me take another sip of my water. Oh my god, I've been talking this whole time and forgot to turn on my mic after I drank some water. Oh no. Oh my god. My entire rant about... So I had said, welcome back, Renosuke. So I'll just say it again. With the Mantis Lords, the game really emphasizes this feeling of battle as a dance. The battle feels like a dance with them, where you're doing specific moves in order to basically dance with the enemy. Where it almost feels like a tune where you hit the enemy to the beat of the music. I wonder if there's a Metroidvania rhythm game. I would play that. But yeah, I'm super proud that I beat the Mantis Lord first try, and yet Moth Charger is the one that actually killed me. Weird. It's almost like there's mechanics later that I don't have. A Wanderer's Journal. First time getting one of those. Oh, I guess I was muted when I read the Hollowness seal. Lovely. Okay, first, Wanderer's Journal. A journal left behind by a long-dead traveler. The words are written in a forgotten dialect and difficult to understand. Relic from Hollowness past. This item now holds little value except for those dedicated to the kingdom's history. Official seal of the Kingdom of Hollownest, symbolizing the authority of the king and his knights. Which people who know about later. Oh, there's a roguelike rhythm game. That would be Crypto Necrodancer. Love that game. But I want more like a Metroidvania rhythm game somehow. But I don't know how they would do that. Relic from Hollowness Past. This item now holds little value except for those dedicated to the kingdom's history. Maybe, I should just have a button, like a push to mute button. Maybe I could get a pedal for that. My brother has a pedal. Okay, that just dropped me back into the Mantis Village. Is there any reason to be here? Nah. Nah, I already went here. Yeah, that's how it goes. Forgetting the mic is super annoying. If I had just a push to mute function, that would definitely fix it. Maybe like a foot pedal where I push it down and then it mutes me so that I can take a sip of water. So then I would end up wanting to push the pedal all the time because I'm a weird freakazoid who loves messing with stuff. Like I got this pig that's under my desk that I'll sometimes just like mess with my foot that lets out a little oink. Oh yeah, I can do this now. But wait, I wanted to go to the bank first. Where's the bank? I thought it was over there to the side. But at least no, it's this way. But yeah, it's like a weird little blue pig thing that my family got me for Christmas as a joke gift, but I actually really like it. It's fun to mess with. I guess that's the sensory I need to fiddle with things part of my brain. Somewhere around here. So I did miss a path, so I guess I'll go that way. No, I don't think it's in the Queen's Garden, because I haven't been to Queen's Garden. Actually, is it in... Oh, right, I don't have the map for Fog Canyon yet. Is it in Fog Canyon? We remember the Elder. I went the wrong way. Or at least that's what that was. Oh god. Oh god. think it's either in like early Fog Canyon or it's a little bit to the side. I saw the bank. I opened an account. So I know I'm not too early. I know I'm not too early. Just zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I thought that it was like right around in the middle of where I am, right, of the cursor right there. Pretty sure it was down here, but I could be wrong. I know the Queen's Station is around here, but... See, this is why you should buy all the pins. Like, I know Cornifer was down here. And I think she was below Cornifer. No, she couldn't be over there because I would need the Mantis Claw. Ow. Nah. Was it this way? Maybe. Was it just this way and I was misremembering? No, because this is where the Mantis stuff starts. I need to heal up because I'm nearly dead. Let's see. Oh man, my whole rant about... I just realized I had a whole rant about Shiny Coin. And now my rant about Shiny Coin is lost. Lost to the not remembering to turn on my mic. But I think the coin in this is, the Geo is just supposed to be like rocks, but I like rocks, so I collect Geo. I like shiny rocks. Yeah, my whole rant about shiny rock just gone. Maybe it was in Fog Canyon. Yeah, okay, it must have been in Fog Canyon. Well, ow. I think the best thing to do would just be go down, go to the City of Tears. Yeah, the explosions are big. Unless you meant the rant, which, yeah, that's also gone. But yeah, Hug the Bomb makes me feel happy. It's warm. I feel like my favorite Final Fantasy character, Tidus. That's a joke. I mean that as a joke. I want to be clear. Tidus is not my favorite character. Oh, I'm going to die. Yep. There we go. Oh, you mean Final Fantasy X-3, in which Tidus kicks a blitzball, but it's actually a landmine, and he blows up and dies, and his head flies off to Yuna? I love it. Oh, I love how stupid that series is. I can't tell which is worse, that or the compilation of Final Fantasy VII. Oh, it's such a dumb scene. Luckily, technically, it's not canon. Because, like, nothing that happens after 10 really matters. Even 10-2. Like, it's... You know, normally I would hate the trope, it was all a dream, but Final Fantasy X ends up being so it's just a dream that I kinda can't hate it. Yeah, well, I mean, Final Fantasy X, it wasn't a gem to begin with, so it's not like they ruined something amazing. Didn't, like, the novel end with Sin coming back, despite that not making any sense lore-wise? Ow. Mother... No, I'm killing this guy now, just for spite. X is a problematic game. It's kind of good, but then there's characters like Waka in it. Ow. And don't get me wrong, like, the gameplay is good. I actually like the sphere grid a lot, but, like, a lot of the game has problems. Maybe that's a game I could stream at some point. I'm a huge RPG fan. I just want to... Damn it. I was gonna say I just want to heal up a little bit. I would not say 10 is on par with 8. Boy, do I think that 8 is a real stinker. You know, I'm actually surprised that, like, with Final Fantasy XIV, they don't milk 10 all that much. Like, I don't... Damn it. I would love if Sin showed up in 8. Kind of like, how Ozma from 9 and, what's it called? What's it called? Not Griever, I can't remember its name. It's the big thing. Eden is in 14. Eden is so cool in 14. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, this is gonna suck. Okay. I'm going back. My shade can wait. You a good boy. That doesn't get rid of him, right? Okay, now my shade's still there. I'm just gonna find some soul. There's probably an enemy somewhere around here. Did enemies... Okay, enemies respawned over here. I'll wait for them... I'll be very careful. Wait for them to move a little bit. But yeah, 14 could use a little bit more FF10 stuff. The Rothgar are kinda like the Ronzo, a little bit. They don't do Kimahri push, though. And Kimahri push is good. But like, I'm surprised Sin doesn't appear. But the next expansion is definitely it's. Oh wait, yeah, duh. Next expansion they've already confirmed. Anima's gonna show up. Damn it. Ah, yes. There we go. And now the bridge is formed, meaning that it's going to be easier to get through here. A large knight statue. There's a socket in the chest. Insert the city crest. Were they called Espers in 10? No, they were called Aeons. Yeah, Anima the Aeon, the big chained up lady who's like Seymour's mom or something. Yeah, they showed her as like being a thing that's going to appear in 14's DLC. Or 14's next expansion. What? No. Bad. Well, yeah, as you can see, the knight statue that you put the city crest in is the armor for False Knight. Yep, the door thing closed. But there's a way out. I don't think I can do it yet, though. And it's got a new design, too, that they showed off, where, it just looks like a way more HD model. Because 14 obviously is a much more powerful game than 10 was. They also confirmed like Pandemonium is going to be in the next expansion, which is something I've been dying for. I hope that we get a new theme for Battle Against the Four Fiends. And Pandemonium is going to be the I think they said it's the raid series. And they haven't confirmed what the Alliance raid is, but if they're going to be following up the Nier ones, they got to really do good. Speaking of, I can't wait for that next Nier raid. I'm so excited. Because the image they showed had something very not Nier in it. It had something Drakengard. And that makes my mind do the happy tingles of... Ooh, that's the thing I like. That's the thing I know. Oh, that's the thing I want to do the thing with the thing I remember. Hold on a second. The great gates have been sealed. None shall enter. None shall leave. Oh, yeah. The image that they showed a very specific thing from Drakengard. Oh, hey, it's Quirrell. And a bench. It showed, the seed of reincarnation from Drakengard. And it showed siblings. And it's like, oh no, is one of them dead? Who knows? I wonder if they're going to put them in the seed. The capital lies before us, my friend. What a somber place it seems, and one that holds the answers to many a mystery. I too have felt the pull of this place, though now I sit before it, I find myself hesitant to descend. Is it fear, I wonder? Or something else that holds me back? Oh, yeah. Isn't it great that to get the continuation of Nier Automata, you have to play about 150 hours of an MMO? Same thing for, what's that game? Final Fantasy Tactics. To get the final piece of the story, you have to play like 100 hours of an MMORPG. And don't forget, the new Nier thing is going to be a phone game. Ain't that fun? The city looks to be built into an enormous cavern, and the rain pours down from cracks in the stone above. There must be a lot of water up there somewhere. I suppose if the cave roof stayed strong this long, it should hold for us. Before I leave the kingdom, I'd like to see where all this water's coming from. What a sight it must be. If you look down from here, through the rain, you can just about make out the Twisted Centuries. Their husks still stuck in an endless patrol. Oh yeah, Taro's great. He does such good work, and even with all the stuff, at least I can access all the stuff. Like the phone game, yeah, that's a problem, but I mean, it looks like it's a fun phone game. I doubt they're gonna remake Drakengard, sadly. I think they said like it's stuck with Sony or something, and that's why they haven't remade it. If you look down from here through the range, just oh yeah, I already read that. I'd be cautious around them, my short friend. Their training will not have been forgotten. The city presents some formidable foes. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Though, who knows? Maybe Sony will play ball and be like, yeah, Yoko Taro, you can help us out. We love your games and would love to help out. Though, I'm always worried that maybe one day Nintendo will be like, we own Platinum, so no more Nier games. Or at least they would have to be exclusive to our consoles. Which I doubt Yoko Taro would be good with. He's finally built up a game franchise that people like. Ooh, Nail City. Or Nail Symbol. Oh, I walked away too fast. The logo said City of Tears. Because it looks like it's like the sky is always crying for because of the rain. Which, like the guy said, we're underground. The rain is just like some cracks that are leaking. But it's super cool. Ooh, look at all the nails on the ground. Nails on the ground. Why did I repeat myself? Brain dumb. Brain melting. I'm tired. I think I know where I want to stop.
Vendasu.
Have you brought me another nail to be honed? Leave it on the ground and return later if you're still breathing.
Ranjo Stenja.
Oh, I thought you were somebody else. After a nailsmith, are you? Well, you found one. It's not much for talk, but if it's a nail that needs repair, then you've come to the right place, Bug. Your own nail is in quite a starry state. It's obviously not one of mine. Still, anything can be refined with enough effort and skill, even that broken blade. If you'd like, I can reforge your nail. It'll make the blade far more deadly. Yes. Power.
Jonsha.
As you wish. I'll get to work then. Damn. Bam. Bam. I love that animation.
Garadel Akari.
There we go. The reforging is complete. I've honed your nail's edge. You'll find it much stronger than it used to be. Head out there and test its strength against your foes. So now my nail is a sharpened nail. Which basically just means that my number got bigger. And I like big number. Big number good. Big number make Gami happy. It still takes like 4 hits to kill the big guys though. But only 1 for the little bitty ones. Oh, I should heal. I should remember to do that more. But yeah, the Nier raids are really fun. Can't wait for that next one. I forget when they said it's gonna be. I think it's part of 4.5 or not 4.5, 4.8, which means I think they said it was in July. So not for a while, but still, it's exciting. A mechanism with a simple keyhole. So obviously, need a simple key for that. Time for the big mo... Wow, I've already caught up to my first playthrough where I stopped. Though my second playthrough got way farther. Sorry if this is loud. Cutscenes are way louder. Hey, it's Hornet. Again, we meet Little Ghost. I'm normally quite perceptive. You I underestimated, though I've since guessed the truth. You've seen beyond this kingdom's bounds. Yours is resilience born of two voids. It's no surprise when then you It's no surprise then you've managed to reach the heart of this world. In doing so, you shall know the sacrifice that keeps it standing. I wonder what she means, born of two voids. That actually doesn't really get explained. And he did come from out of Hallownest, so And it's no surprise to me that you managed to reach the heart of this world. In doing so, you shall know the sacrifice that keeps it standing. If knowing the truth, you'd still attempt a role in Hallownest perpetuation? I'm not good with words. Seek the grave in ash, and the mark it would grant to one like you. I can words good. Memorial to the Hollow Knight in the black vault far above, though through its sacrifice, Hallownest lasts eternal. So that's the Hollow Knight. This was actually a big thing when I first went through the game, because it's so cool that it's not you that's the Hollow Knight, it's somebody else that looks awesome. And looks like they could be like your dad. Black Egg Temple added to the map. So the Black Egg Temple is this thing. That's where the Hollow Knight is. That thing with the 3 seals that we saw earlier. And there's a closed door. Lovely. God, I have played a lot today. A lot more than I was expecting. Yeah, I think I got like halfway through the game on my second playthrough. But on my first playthrough, before my saved file got deleted, I only got to the Hollow Knight statue. Oops. No, come back, come back. Oh. I would genuinely love for them to have a Kingdom Hearts raid in 14. That would be amazing. Just because I want to see the stupid stuff Nomura tries to pull in the explanation. But sadly, if that happens, it's not going to be for another expansion or two. Because Endwalker... Well, it's the end of 14's main story, so they're not going to be, they're not going to have a Kingdom Hearts raid for the end of that. We already know the normal raid series is going to be Pandemonium, so... Yeah, I should definitely back up this save file. I don't want to make that mistake again. It's big boy. Blast the big boy. But yeah, I am so excited for Pandemonium. Well, you say that, but like 14 already basically has Xehanort with the Convocation. There are 14. It's basically an Organization 14 situation where there's 14 people who are not human that all worship the darkness. Ooh. Though they get a better explanation than Organization 13, and they don't just straight up lie to the fans about what's going on in the story. They also go around using evil dark portals to teleport around, and they wear black cloaks. It's so specific. but the Convocation's super cool. That's the big difference. They're also, the Convocation's just a fancy name for them, for the leaders, but there are more members than the 14. There's like lesser members called the Asians. So I guess those would be like the nobodies. But the leaders of the Asians are the Convocation. Oh god. They change enough that it's completely different, but the big thing about it is the Convocation are cool. Whereas Xemnas and the Organization and Xehanort are not cool. Love Kingdom Hearts as much as I do, they're not that great. It feels a lot like, hey, what if we took this idea and made it cool? And they genuinely feel threatening, unlike the Organization, since you're so strong that you beat most of the Organization super easily. What's this way? Odd closed door. Lovely. But yeah, since I've talked about 14, I am now contractually obligated to talk about the free trial that's available, where you get to get the first 2 expansions for free, and it lets you get to a certain level cap. Yeah, that's the thing. They're ruined a little bit by later stuff, but whereas the Convocation of 14, every change to them that explains them more actually makes them cooler, if not a little bit sad. No! I died! But yeah, free trial to Final Fantasy XIV. Get the first 2 expansions for free. There's some problems with said expansion. Or the said free trial. There's a limit on Gil and stuff, but you get the first 2 expansions for free, and that's like a whole bunch of content. Yeah, sadly the free trial, it's only really on PC, so... Which sucks, because there is cross-play, I believe. So, I could play with you and stuff, but, like... The free trial... I wish it was on, frickin' PS4. Unless it is, then I'm just dumb. There's always an option. But the first 2 expansions, like the first expansion is where the game starts getting good according to people. Though I didn't have as much problems with whatchamacallit, A Realm Reborn as most people. So the first expansion does have my the first thing I saw in 14, and the thing also that made me get the want to really get into the game. The first thing being the fight against Diablos, and the second, my favorite thing being the Alexander raids. Which Alexander is super cool in 14. Because they really pull out all the stops to make it the coolest version of Alexander they've had. Though I will say that there is a problem with... Or wait, why am I fighting you? But like I said, the new raid is Pandemonium, and it's going to actually show a major problem with 14 is that the convocation has 3 leaders, and 2 of those leaders got a lot of explanation in the newest expansion, but the first one dies before the newest expansion, so Pandemonium seems to have more info on him. Sure. Oh, I should have skipped that first dialogue. Damn it, can't reset it. Oh well. Charting such a different space is quite the challenge, though one I've eagerly undertaken. Perhaps you'd care to purchase a copy of my achievement so far. We've both come far to reach this grand place. While I'm about these buildings, I must remember to collect a trinket or 2 for Esthelda. Okay, I'm gonna mute again real quick just to take another sip of my water. Okay, and I'm triple checking this time. I didn't leave it muted. But yeah. Oh, that's it. Boy, watch where you're going, you soggy vagabond. I don't want you splashing me. I've had a miserable time trying to keep dry. I am Zoot the Mighty, a knight of great renown. If I decide that I'm going to stay dry, that's what's gonna happen. Curse this wretched city. Water and monsters constantly fall from above. It's no wonder this blasted kingdom fell to ruin. So I watched my brother play Hollow Knight. He's been going through it, and he decided to fight the Super Zote that appears later in the game. And he actually managed to beat it all the way down to the double damage form, which is where he ended up stopping, because he knows he can do it, because he's gotten really good at using the 3rd spell. But he had some trouble with the double damage form. Have you seen them? The guards who still patrol this city, even after dying? Being overly devoted to one's duties is no virtue. And that's all he says. Yeah, Zote is kind of like a Don Quixote guy, I guess. Oh, it looks like this path leads back to the fungal wastes. Hey. Hey. Oh, there's one of these thingies. Oh, I got a strong thing. I got the better entry for the little fuzzy guys. Ow. Oh, another thing I should bring up for 14 that I'm excited for is there's a new mount that got announced that I'm actually willing to pay money to get, which is the Lunar Whale from FF4. Oh, I should hit that, open that door up. But I'm a huge fan of FF4, even though I never actually fully beat it because I was a child when I played it. But I love the Lunar Whale and I want that mount. I think they said like it holds like 8 people. That's like an entire Alliance raid worth of in one mount. Simple key. Sick. The first of many. Which means I could go down to the Royal Waterway, fight the Fluke Marm. I don't know. I feel like enjoying my sanity for now. Oop. I'm gonna go up to that stag. Or to get this at least. Money. Wanderer's Journal. Don't. Don't what? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, don't fight the Fluke Marm. Right. Yeah, the Fluke Marm, I'm pretty sure it's optional, but which means it's not really needed at all, but Fluke Marm, I can beat it. It's just not that hard. Might wait for better nail just to breeze through it. Get the stag. Ring bell. Watch him run up. And talk to him. I remember this station well. A common trip it was. Goods from all over the kingdom were transported here. Not a lot was sent back the other way, though. To Dirtmouth. Because I want to buy one more set of pins. And maybe a map if the map appeared. You know, I never noticed it until recently, but whenever you're in Dirtmouth, you can't run. You just walk.
Bapanada.
No, it didn't appear. And I already got all the pins. So I guess the bank really is in Fog Canyon. Oh, what a turn. Our shop keeps come home. Just wandered back in. I'd hoped for grand tales of his time below, but he seems to remember almost nothing. Maybe it was all too much for him. If you're interested in his wares, watch out. He drives a hard bargain, that one. No competition, that's the problem. It's bad for the market. Not that he's complaining. Oh wait, actually, I never thought I'd see such a thing. The Stag Station has opened. The building lay silent since before even my time. Oh, I've heard the tales of the glorious lines, the web of tunnels running all through the kingdom. Not that I'll be traveling them, mind you. I'm quite content here, where I am. Did you visit the temple? A strange building, I've heard, though I never dared to journey myself. Yeah, you know, I think this is a good spot to stop, so I'll just finish up his dialogue. The braver among us once went there to pray, said they felt at peace within the walls. After a while, they stopped going. I wonder what changed. A young couple's just recently taken up residence in the house behind the station. Seems they're running a map shop, which may excite adventurous types like yourself. She's a tall bug, that wife. I told them to take the larger house, especially given they're all empty, but they like the look of that one. The way she has to bend just to get through the door, I couldn't put up with it myself. I hope you're not too disappointed in our little town, traveler. Though it's now a solemn place. Once we were much more welcoming. Entry to the kingdom was forbidden long ago, supposedly after some great calamity. Many gates were closed, but our old well remains as a way to creep back in. Over the years, all kinds used to use the well to wriggle into the ruins. Wanderers, thieves, adventurers. Funny how few ever come back up. Perhaps they find what they're looking for? Bah, I'm not so naive. No doubt they've all been gobbled up. There are countless dangers in those depths. Hollowness Great Capital is what most of you brave types come to see. Thinking to loot its treasures, I suppose? It must be brimming with them. The city's right at the center of the kingdom, though I've heard the gates are sealed, so gaining entry can be difficult. It'd be a rich bug that could return with even a fraction of the wealth inside. Despite my age, I've only seen few who've managed it. Must say something of the dangers about the streets. Feeling tired? Use the bench. Okay, what else was I gonna do before stopping? I guess nothing really. Okay. Well, I am feeling like Renosuke said it's a good idea to rest. I've streamed for about 4 hours. Jeez. I know some of that was BRB time, but that wasn't that long. This is probably one of the longest streams I've done. And yeah, I guess I should pop it back up. I should pop it up onto YouTube, though. Oh, I don't have a VOD channel. I never uploaded any of my old streams. But I guess I can do that. I guess before the next stream, which probably won't be for a while, I should say that before I go, I don't know when my next stream is gonna be. I don't stream very often because I'm so busy. It definitely won't be anytime till next week because I need to prepare because I'm going to be watching a big event on Saturday. The D&D that I really like is going to be finishing up and reaching its finale on Saturday with a 8 to 10 hour stream to watch. And what's it called? I'm going to be having a little watch party type thing where I'm going to try to watch all of it in one go. And you can't see it, but I'm doing motions with my hands even though nobody can see it because I didn't have my camera on. But I'm going to be trying to do a watch party. My brother's going to be in my room a lot watching it, so I might not talk that much that day. But I'll probably stream sometime after that. I'm trying to keep my streams so that I'm not streaming at the same time as Renosuke or my other friend Marsh, who streams every so often. They popped in earlier. I'm really good to see them. I need to talk with them about possibly making a VTuber avatar. Because I have ideas. And if I can make it, that would make me happier. But I guess that's it for now. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I hope that everybody had a good time. But that's about it for the stream. See you all next time, and make sure to drink lots of water and get lots of rest. You're all great.